Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today I'm going to be joined shortly by Teddy Caldwell and Aladino Sales Director Trey Mac Shipley, and we're going to be talking about Teddy's trip to the Aladino Farm. So Teddy won a trip to the Aladino Farm at PulpitFest last year, and he went with the group earlier this year, and we're finally circling up to find out how his trip went. We're going to learn all about his trip to the Aladino Farm and what he learned, and it's a good time. So anyway, guys, I will catch you on the other side of that. And I am joined today by Teddy Caldwell and Trey Mac Shipley. How you guys doing?
Hey, fellas. Hey, how's everybody doing?
What's up, Trey Mac?
We're good, baby. We're good. Just one day out of 77 at home, and let's do this. So it's for the people.
Well, see, and that's the thing. We are talking the Aladino Farm trip today because, Teddy, you won the Aladino Farm trip at PulpitFest last year, and you just went on that, what? Is this like a month ago at this point? Are we right about it? You're right about a month removed from the trip? Is that about right?
I would say we're just about at a month, almost. Well, I mean, like maybe give or take maybe a couple of days here, a few.
Okay. So yeah, so we're gonna recap the Aladino Farm trip and find out all about your adventures, misadventures, whatever we want to call them, down in Honduras. But first, I'm gonna smoke a cigar. Now, Teddy, I just saw you cutting and lighting, and you didn't wait for the cut, and that's okay. But whatever. I just want to. What are you smoking?
Well, I am going to be smoking pretty much one of the exclusive cigars from the Camp Aladino trip. This is the Camp Aladino 26. If y'all can see that really good there, if y'all get a good picture of that right there. And Trey, I'll let you take the lead on what this cigar entails here, if you don't mind.
So, Teddy, this is very special. You're going to make everybody jealous because no one's going to see that cigar until like this summer, June, July, August, somewhere in there. But every year we do a new Camp Aladino, which is an exclusive brand to anybody that's been to Camp Aladino. So at this point, we've got about 70 stores that have come down over the last 7 years. And if you've been there, you're on the list. And every year it's a new blend. And super limited, super exclusive. And Teddy, take it away, man. Have you smoked one since the trip, or is this the first time?
No. I went ahead and actually smoked it. Probably the first time was what? It was maybe about a couple of days after the trip, after we had got back and everything. I had decided to just go ahead and sit down on the porch. Poured me up a glass of bourbon, and after that, I just kind of sat back on the porch, enjoyed the weather, and enjoyed that Camp Aladino cigar. And I mean, it is phenomenal. One thing that I love about the Aladino brand is that it's one of the easiest smokes. When you come down to it, not to try to sound like a commercial or nothing like that or anything like that, but it is a very consistent smoke on pretty much on the whole line. There's not a bad Aladino I've had since started smoking them and everything like that. And I haven't really been smoking them much over the past year, I believe, but last year I was pretty much introduced to it then, smoking a lot of it then and everything like that. So now I'm kind of getting reintroduced back to them. And now that I've had this trip and was able to kind of see the whole picture, the whole enchilada, as you may say, then now, the appreciation that I have for that cigar or for Aladino probably has gotten deeper than it has ever been, not just for Aladino, but for any other cigar makers and manufacturers and everything like that, because this is not an easy process to make something like this that's in your hand that, most consumers get to enjoy without even knowing or getting to see what goes on behind the scenes with making this one cigar right here. So I really am very appreciative and thankful for Trey Mac, for the Aladino Farm family, the Arrow family. Just so thankful for the experience and for the opportunity, like I said, to go out and to see something that that a lot of consumers don't get to see. And it's really like a privilege just to be able to experience the growth of it from seed all the way to to the hand right here to where we're smoking it today and everything like that. So it was amazing. So I really can't, like I said, wait to dig into, like I said, some of the different things we did day in and day out and stuff like that, and some of some of the good stories that we got about it and stuff like that as well too. There was only one thing I was hating that I couldn't get acquired yet, and I say yet only because I'm still not going to give up on it yet. There was a news article or news flash that came on one of our local stations in Memphis here, Channel 13, and I was able to actually submit a picture of the Aladino sign right there on the poolside sign, and I'll try to see if I post that in Cigar Pulpit and stuff so that everybody kind of see what I'm talking about. But it was a sunrise snapshot, and they have a segment called Sunrise Snapshot, and that picture right there was featured on that news spot. And I'm sure they talked about it, probably talked about the sign and everything like that. So I'm gonna try to see if I can find it or see if I can get it located. I may have to get in contact with the news station or whatever, but hopefully I can get that and kind of get the whole broadcast shown online and everything like that. But I'll get that picture put on the Cigar Pulpit web on Facebook page so everybody can see the picture that I'm talking about.
Very cool.
That's awesome because those sunrises are spectacular. So I was glad that you got to submit that. That was cool.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So Teddy's smoking and I'm jealous. And so I'm going to fire up my cigar. And so I have, well, let's put it this way. I don't have a fancy Camp Aladino cigar. And, I also don't have Gorbustos. I don't have any Gorbustos.
I'm working on it.
I got the press release. I could have printed out and smoked the press release today. I'm sure it has hints of CMY, maybe not so much K, I'm sure the Y is probably a little heavier than the C, just a guess.
We're working on it. Oh, wait, look, what's Teddy got?
I would like to say that I prefer
look
Y
at this
over
fucker.
C. No, I see him. He's got
his
his
got his Camp Aladino and the Gorbusto.
You totally missed that entire fucking thing, didn't you, Trey Mac?
I mean, I just saw Gorbusto.
Well, I know, but I was talking about how I prefer the Y over the C.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever ink you're into. Like, I get it. Yeah, but
okay. Anyway,
listen.
So
I'm trying.
I know.
We don't have them in the States yet.
Well, whatever.
My bad.
So, whatever. I'm just saying, it's like roll out a cigar and promote it. But
apparently,
anyway, so
Teddy could have done it. I mean,
I dug. Yeah, fucking Teddy, send me some of your stash. So I dug through my humidor and I found this, and so I have a Corojo Reserva. I have the little Perfecto.
You don't see those very often.
Torpedo version. Yeah, and I can tell you for a fact, this one has some age on it because it came from a shop that I can tell you for a fact that I haven't been in since 2020, early 24.
Tell me you've been into a 3-letter name shop without telling me you've been in a 3-letter name shop.
Anyway, yeah. So I haven't been in the shop in a couple of years.
Are you going to do that cool thing where you V-cut each side of the cigar and then?
No.
That's the cool thing the kids are doing right now.
Yeah, I saw that on a box press one, and that just made me viscerally angry.
Yeah,
where it left the middle, but the two sides were V-cut. Yeah. I don't know what it was. That made me so angry.
It's all about the flavor.
Whoa! Wait a minute. What are we talking about here again? And the V-cut the sides?
Yeah, I don't have a cigar here that I want to waste. Otherwise,
somebody took a cigar and they V-cut each side, but not.
Wow.
They did some weird shit.
Yeah, I don't have one to waste. And, anyway, I got butts in the ashtray, but I'm not going to fuck with that.
25
anyway, yeah. But
you know how we like big butts, and I cannot lie.
I emptied out the ashtray of 25. I did empty out. It got to be too much. I hit 25, and that was plenty. And so now I have I have 9 going in round 2 at this point.
Ooh, man, look at that booty.
Yeah.
Look at them booty.
Teddy's an ash man.
I
Hey, man.
got a collection of it. Anyway, I want to get my cigar going. So it's time to cut the cigar, and the official cutting is brought to you by twoguyscigars.com. That's the number 2.
Is it done by 2 guys?
What?
Is it done by 2 guys cigars?
It is brought to you by twoguyscigars.com, and they've been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows 2 Guys, but if you don't, please give them a try. You won't be sorry. Family owned and operated, twoguyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and excellent customer service. So head on over to twoguyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. And remember, that's the number 2, guyscigars.com. And with that, it's time to go ahead and cut my cigar. Okay. Now you guys can jump in.
I got an issue with what you just said.
What?
You said 2 Guys has been around for 40 years?
Yeah.
Mr. Jonathan's only like 42, so that's not possible.
Dude, he's pushing 50.
No shit. He's old as fuck, huh?
Yeah, he's pushing 50. He's
He
got.
shouldn't be dressing like that if he's 50. I mean, at 40 maybe. 50, bro, you gotta slow down.
Bro, I'm just gonna say it. Like, I saw some pictures from this whole like Tampa trip.
So did I.
Like, I mean, some of these outfits, because I'm not even gonna call them clothes. Some of these outfits that we had going on.
Some of them are more in like negligees.
Just saying. And now my feed is full of him shirtless in a fucking hot tub over at his sister's place. Every time I turn around, he's posting shirtless pictures all over it. And I'm just like, dude, I don't know about this. This is a lot. This is a lot.
I'm not gonna hate on a man's lifestyle.
No. I mean, you know what? You do you. But oh god. Anyway, but yeah,
he's definitely a guy that like double V cuts a cigar.
What was that?
What the heck? Whoa.
Nick, what the fuck are you doing?
Something just fucking rubbed my ankle.
There's Jonathan.
Oh,
fucking Jonathan's hanging out underneath the desk at my house. Anyway, no. All right. So I'm going to tell myself that it was my cord.
Yeah. Use your cord.
I'm going to tell myself that. Was it my cord?
Isn't that how horror movies start off?
Do you want me to tell myself it was my cord?
Because otherwise, the guy in the hat behind him right there. It's definitely not that.
Son of a bitch. Because otherwise, if it's not my cord, I don't know what it was. It wasn't fuzzy. So at least I have that going on. It's not some sort of critter.
I've been kind of wondering. You haven't lit up a cigar or nothing like that, right?
What?
You haven't lit up a cigar or anything, have you? Right? So there should be no smoke or anything, right?
No.
So I wonder what that vapor is behind you.
I'm gonna guess that there's probably a smudge on the lens of my iPad.
Yeah, it's not the spirit at all. Not a spirit.
I'm guessing it's this. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume that.
You sure?
No, I'm not. I have to admit, I did look at that earlier and think, boy, I've got like a Glamour Shots filter going on my picture here. So
Nick, I'm actually messing with you, man. I'm going to try to see if I can freak you out in your whole watch.
Well, you got ghost again, bro.
Not again.
Turn off fan.
Not again. Need that shit. Anyway.
All right. So
spicy right off the foot in the retro hail. I love it. Okay. So, all right, gentlemen. Now that we have
you've been taking those retro hails like a champ lately.
I'm getting better. I want it for the fucking record that I've been getting better. Between this and the drive time reviews, I've been doing a lot better with the retro hails. For the record.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah, man. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah.
You're doing it for the culture.
You know, I'm getting there. I'm growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm getting into my big boy pants. You know?
Yeah, next thing you know, we'll catch him with some whiskey or scotch. No sense, you know, depending on the feeling and everything like that. And then next thing you know, hey, we'll finally say, hey, he's part of the group now, finally.
Yeah, see, for me, it's more like we're going to have a lemonade review coming up here later on in this episode. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, so all right, gentlemen, now that we have cigars going and the banter is flowing freely, let's dive right into it. So, Teddy, you won the trip at PulpitFest. And
Right.
once you get past that initial, holy shit, I'm going to Honduras, let's talk a little bit about all the prep leading up to, and then from there, the actual heading out.
Yeah. So, day of, when we find out about the trip, beautiful time. We're in Florida and everything like that. It's great. We're having great times. We're having smoking great cigars. And I hear my raffle ticket number pull up for the trip. And I'm like, for a brief second, and I mean, really, literally for maybe one good quick second, I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm not gonna be able to do this trip. I don't have a passport, never been out of the country before, like yada 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 yada. And I mean, for that one brief second, then Nick, I think he turned and looked at me, and he saw a look in my eye. I think he knew what was finna get ready to be said. And before I can even say it, he just said, "You know what? You got to go." I said, "Okay, you know what? F it, let's go. Let's do this. Let's do this." So we go ahead. So I go ahead and agree on it. I'm still not even sure whether or not I'm still going to go forward with it at that time, but I'm like, okay, here we go. So fast forward a little bit right before October of last year, we're getting ready, to try to get the passport application and everything put in, and trying to get everything set up so I can go ahead and move forward with that. At the time, with the way the timeline was working, as long as I do the expedited services and everything like that, I should have my passport in more than enough time before the trip starts. So, okay, easy breezy. Well, it should be somewhat easy breezy. Let's go ahead and do it. So, get all my passport stuff together. I get my birth certificate. And when I get my birth certificate, my name is legally Teddy Caldwell. But according to that birth certificate and according to the Department of Human Services in Tennessee, my last name was actually Crittenden. So according to them and according to some judge back in the 80s or something like that, I don't know how this all happened, but it happened. My last name was changed to Crittenden. And so I've been going this whole time as Caldwell, but even my wife has name is Caldwell. Everybody's last name is Caldwell, but legally or technically speaking, my name was Crittenden the whole time.
So you've been under an alias for most of your life.
For the pretty much majority of my life, it's been aliases.
So that means all your driver's licenses, all your various documents, everything like that have technically been illegal documents because they don't have the proper name.
Technically speaking.
Son of a bitch! Look at the quality of our government.
Technically
You'd think
speaking.
that they'd anyway. All right. So
God,
your wife and your
here's the crazy part.
Your wife took the last name, right?
Right. So here's the crazy part.
All your kids?
When I had to renew my license a while back, I remember this is a discussion that kind of actually came out about a long time ago, and I had to go back and just kind of recollect on that and everything. That's when I remembered, okay, yeah, this was mentioned. But the lady at the, and like I said, at the time, I didn't know this was happening, like I said, in my 20s or something and everything like that. So she told me in my younger 20s. So basically, she told me that, okay, your last name might be Crittenden and everything like that, but we know you as Caldwell. Your last name is Caldwell. Department of Motor Vehicles got your last name is Caldwell. You're fine. You should be all fine and everything like that. And I don't know if she warned me or not at the time. I didn't know for sure, and I'm probably sure she did. She probably warned me if I have to go get a passport, that's when I'm going to run into a problem. And indeed, that's when I ran into a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, the federal government kind of likes to know who you are.
Right. So, yeah, they tend to want to know those things, right before you have to get out of the country, at least. So the crazy part was that I'm like losing my shit pretty much because I'm like, I already had to, I kind of went through a whole collection of things already. Was trying to get off my schedule at work and everything. And then once I was, and while I was also taking care of that, going downtown to the birth certificate office and everything like that to try to get this birth certificate done. But before I can even do all that, I had to go to court and file a motion or paperwork to get my name changed and everything like that. So we go through it. So I'm almost wanting to scream at the lady at the birth certificate office, like, why would you have to do this? I got my ID. You know who I am. I'm like almost about to lose my shit. But I got in the car, calmed down. I said, okay, let's go ahead and get this done. I get down there to the courthouse, file the paperwork, pay the $25 fee. Get a court date, and about a week or so later, I go back into court and go in there and go under oath that I'm not trying to do this to evade felony or prosecution or anything like that. And as long as I was able to do that on the oath and everything, they went ahead and did the name change right there and turned right around, went downstairs and went into the passport office where they was go ahead and process everything right there in the same building.
And you said you knew somebody in that office, right?
Exactly. It was a classmate from elementary school. So she knew me. I saw her. She saw me. I told her the situation and everything. Like I said, don't worry, we're going to take care of it and everything like that.
That's helpful. That's helpful.
Yeah. So once she kind of saw my application, saw how everything was filled out, got my made sure my picture was good because I used to work at Walgreens as a photo op, so I used to do passport pictures all the time. So passport pictures wasn't a big deal at all. But once she saw the paperwork and saw that my name got legally changed back to Caldwell, they processed everything. And I think it was like on the 14th or the 15th. It was a couple of days right before my birthday. My passport was in the mail or was in my hand.
Okay.
So it started out as like a massive fiasco. You got it turned around quicker than most people end up getting to.
Exactly. It was the quickest turnaround that I've heard of on the passport. And I mean, like, sure, it was expedited service, but even with it being expedited, it didn't even take nowhere near the time that they quoted. So I was like,
well, I think don't you have an office? You have the passport office right there in Memphis. You could have theoretically gone to pick it up in person, right?
Well, no, we don't. We don't have a passport office. We have the court. That's where they process everything there, and they can also do the picture as well too. That's what they do have. They don't actually have it where you can get the actual passport there itself. Yeah.
Okay. Well, either which way, it sounds like this is a mess that kind of needed to probably be straightened out at some point in your life. And so, you know what? What's a good enough reason to do it other than going and seeing a working tobacco farm?
Right. And it's a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise when it's all said and done. So I was happy about that.
And now you're really Teddy Caldwell.
Exactly.
That's good.
I can legally say that's my real name.
Well, that's good.
Although I do still have that alias of Crittenden. Hey, you never know. Just in case. That's why I got two phones. You never know.
Never Okay, so we got all that figured out. Now, we're coming up to the trip. What are the kind of like? This is the first time I've asked this. What's kind of the pre-show that Trey Mac does for you guys? Like, how does he prep you guys in advance for this?
All right. Well, once we kind of get the passport situation stuff done,
well, yeah,
it's just a matter of just talking about, okay, we're trying to get ready and go to a whole nother country. So there's a couple of things you might need to be aware of. First of all, this is Honduras, and the Honduran people is a very lovely, beautiful group of people that you just love to be around because they're always smiling, working hard, no matter what. There's always smiles somewhere along the lines and everything like that. And they're by stature a lot shorter than most Americans. So that was one of the first things he had to kind of drill us on, is that if you're a taller person, a bigger person, and everything like that, you might need to be. Yeah, you might want to kind of keep in mind that when it comes down to things like taking a shower, maybe using the restroom, especially if you happen to maybe have to do a number two or whatever the case may be. I think he also kind of warned me about the bus ride going there, but actually that wasn't a big deal. And I will talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But in prepping with it as well, too, once she kind of got there, I think it was just a matter of just more common sense things, just, have fun, learn how to read a room. Just be able to, talk, ask you questions, talk to whoever you want to talk to. Now, of course, Trey, he didn't really have to tell me too much of anything. I think the biggest thing was like getting prepped for like the trip itself, like making sure we kind of had the logistics down as far as where I'm going to fly out of, as far as the plane, the plane ride itself and stuff, as far as going through customs and getting all the little paperwork done too, because you got to have a entry form, exit form. Learned about that as well too. So it was really simple. It was a simple process. I mean, like, it wasn't really a lot of things that you really had to do. It's just a matter of just making sure that you kind of have, good prep. And I think that a lot of good prep information really came from Ken and, the podcast. A lot of times when y'all talk about his trip to Honduras and everything because I love the story that he gave about what happened with him and customs and stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that actually really did happen. So
Okay.
yeah, so that was the kind of the biggest thing. Just kind of like getting ready to kind of get on that flight and being ready to go on that plane and being packed and ready to go and stuff. And that was another thing I had to learn how to do too, was pack. Like I had to learn how to actually do what they call a ranger roll. And I mean, like I learned how to put my clothes in like wrap them up damn near like a burrito and everything like that. And you got to imagine, my pant size is not small, so anything I wrap up and everything like that is going to be probably the size of like a mini baseball bat, enough to club somebody if you have to.
It's like the burrito place that I had back in college in La Bambas. Their phrase was burritos as big as your head.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
So
I'm like, and since we're flying American, they don't have any type of, courtesy baggage and everything like that. So of course, I'm like trying to figure out, okay, what I'm taking, what I'm not taking.
who does these days though? Who freaking does these days? Don't get me started on airlines, but anyway.
I know. And that's why I was like, oh, geez. Okay. But you know what? If I have to say anything though, I'm so glad we left at the time of this time of year, and we left when we did and came back when we did, because man, I cannot imagine having to go through what we're going through any of this like right now.
Yeah, with TSA,
like what's going on currently.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine even trying to do all that and stuff. And
yeah,
be honest with you, even being honest with you, even when we got back in Miami and everything, when I got back in Miami, coming back home and stuff, I can tell it was starting to like swell up. Like you can see where the lines are starting to get a lot longer. Look like the staff got a lot shorter. I started seeing more presence of security kind of walking around and everything like that with like full M16s and everything like that, just like they ready for war. So I'm like, okay, look like this is really happening here. So So I mean, for timing wise, it was perfect. And then, like I said, just being there, going on a trip and like I said, being there, like I said, with the weather the way it was and stuff too, was just like I said, a perfect atmosphere for the whole thing.
Gotcha. Okay. So you went on the trip. So now let's go through this. Let's take this on. Maybe. Okay. All right. I'm going to put a pause on that for just a split second, actually, now that I think about it. Another question has popped into my head. So, Teddy, you've told me all of your prep and everything like that. Trey Mac, what goes into the prep for bringing a group down to the farm?
I mean, so like, for each individual that comes out there, like, Teddy or anybody else, like, you kind of got to give them a little direction. Be like, you got to worry about yourself. Here's a few things. Really, at the end of the day, I just need you to be in Honduras at the airport when I pick you up.
Yeah.
I don't like talking down to people, but, if you've never been out of the country, I'm there. Ask me. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Like, yeah. But my thing is, I'm always worried about the group.
Yeah.
The individual, the group.
The group. Yep.
We had a little group problem this year that I totally freaked out on. And guys like Teddy, they don't have to worry about the panic that was going through my body. But I will say, because again, I don't know these people. Thank God, like I know Teddy. I can spot Teddy at the airport.
Yes.
Like, all right.
I would think Teddy would stand out in a Honduran airport.
He stands out. He's easy, and I know him personally. So
I mean, he's 1.5 feet taller than all the Hondurans just right off the bat.
But again, we have people flying in from Miami. So if you're flying out of Miami, good. We're probably on the same flight. I'll try to catch you before we get on just to check your name off the list and make sure you're getting on the plane.
Yeah.
But there's another half of the group that's flying in from Houston.
Oh, okay.
So those are the two. It's either Miami or Houston that flies into Honduras. And like the Houston flight, I'm like, all right, I guess I'll meet them in Honduras. I don't know. I have to hope they get on the plane.
Yeah.
Then we get there, and my job is to round up the people and make sure they're on. This year we had 2 buses.
Okay.
And so then I got to go talk to the guys that run each bus and try to explain to them in Spanish, my limited Spanish. I need this many people over here. I need sandwiches. I need beer. Like, I'll go buy it. Like, all that jazz. Because I want people to be as comfortable as possible. It's a long ride. Usually, nothing's a problem. I find everybody, we get everybody on the bus. This year, I think I found everybody. Everybody was in a congregation, and all right, let's go to 2 buses, find your space, get some space, because these buses are very cramped. So I try to tell people ahead of time, like if you're a tall person like Teddy, like, hey, just so you know, when you get there, try to get to the back of the bus as soon as possible, because that's where the space is. And if you're not in those seats, it could be pretty bad.
Cool kids sit in the back anyway.
Yeah, because like I would say like the buses we took, Teddy, I don't know if we told you this, those buses are rated for 32 people.
And it was only about 10 apiece at best.
Yeah, and that's about what we could handle. So 32 Hondurans equal, 10, 11 Americans.
Fuck yeah.
They're cramped. So we get everybody on the bus, and people made fun of me because I got to do my roll call, and I'm like a camp counselor. I got my names, and I'm checking names off and yelling them out. It looks ridiculous,
but you got to do it.
But you got to do it, and
you don't want to leave somebody at the airport.
Yeah, and I get down to this one name, and I name him, and nobody said yes on that bus. All right, I'll go yell that name on the other bus. You go over there, and I yell the name, and nope. And I'm like, uh-oh. We got somebody not on the bus that's on the sheet.
Oh, shit.
So I go back into the airport, and I'm yelling this name, looking everywhere. I can't find a gringo that matches the description. Shit. So I go back and forth between the airport and the bus, I don't know how many times. And the more my adrenaline goes, the more I start sweating. It's hot. And I'm like, oh, no, I got somebody that's not here. And eventually, after like an hour of time, y'all were on the bus for like an hour. There's nobody left in the airport except the people that work there. And I'm going around and I'm like, I can't find this guy. So only thing I can think of was like something happened and he got detained. Which, if he's detained, I definitely don't want to leave him, because then that's a double whammy. Like, imagine going to a foreign country, getting detained, and then being left. Like, horrible situation.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to call him. The dude doesn't answer his phone. That doesn't help. Great.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm like, I got to call his home shop. So over an hour has gone by. I call the shop that he belongs to, and I'm like, hey, like, I'm looking for your boy. He's not in Honduras. I can't find him. And they dig around for a minute and like, oh, well, he didn't tell you. He double booked himself, and he's actually in the Dominican Republic.
That would have been nice information to know.
Would have been great information. Instead, I was like in a sweat-drenched panic.
And everybody else has been delayed by over an hour because of this. Yeah.
So if your plans change, let somebody know. That would be,
it's kind of the polite thing to do.
Polite thing to do.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's always my thing. Like, I try to tell people on the phone, like, hey, if you got questions, holler, because I'm sure there's things that I've been down there enough times I forget. Like, hey, scorpions do exist. It's probably not a big deal, but they do exist. Hey, their plumbing is like a third the size of ours. So if you take a big old dump, might need to flush twice. Don't worry about that. We all do it.
Did the rooms come equipped with a poop knife?
No, not like that thing you sent me. It was disgusting.
You gotta have a poop knife.
Yeah, poop knife.
Poop knife. Wow.
Yeah.
I can deal with poop scissors maybe, but poop knife?
This is a straight up machete, man. It's a poop knife.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, you probably have like Rural King or something like that down in Memphis, right? You should be able to find a poop knife.
Yeah, I'm sure. Now
you got that big ass Bass Pro in the freaking pyramid. You should be able to get a big poop knife there, I would think.
You would think that, but I think they got more. I don't know. Their weapon selection is really, really minuscule for some strange reason. But I got my reasons on why. But I'm thinking because of the location of that Bass Pro being downtown, there's not a lot of weaponry when it comes down to their selections and everything.
That's true. There's enough weaponry downtown. We don't need to add to it.
Right. So that's sort of like my theory on that whole thing. But I'm like, okay, whatever. But I will say though, that bus ride now, leaving from the airport and going to the, because I totally forgot about how a guy kind of he ghosted us basically. He got ghosted. We got ghosted. So, but the bus ride there, once you kind of get there, you find your seat and find your little space and everything like that. It wasn't all that bad. It was just like I said, depending on how much construction is going on at the time and everything like that. We didn't run into a crazy amount of it, but it was enough, like I said, to have you kind of saddle sore after, a few hours or so of riding on there and everything like that as well. But I mean, all in all, I'm still pretty like comfortable riding. And see, I think a lot of people got to understand too is that when you go on a trip like this, it's more so a camping trip. It's going to be more of a camping trip than it is going to be like your luxury glamorous glamping, if you want to call it that, or if it's and don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to downplay the experience at all, but essentially it's still like a camping trip. But
you're not going to a hotel.
Yeah, you're not going to go anywhere where you're going to have those like simple, convenient amenities and everything like that. It's not. I mean, we did have an AC unit in the cabins and everything like that, so it wasn't like we was like in dire straits or anything like that. It was very comfortable, matter of fact. But you're going to rough it a little bit. So yeah, get ready to take your boots and some jeans or something like that, and get ready to rough it out a little bit.
Did you see any scorpions, Teddy?
I have not saw not one scorpion, and I kind of actually looked for one too, but no scorpions.
It's probably for the best.
Probably so. And then my whole thing was trying to see the sunrise, and didn't get. I saw we got a little peek of one the first night when the first morning when I woke up there and everything. Unfortunately, it was really cloudy, so sun didn't really come out that much that day. But that probably was a great thing because that first day we was able to go ahead and walk the farm, tour the farm, and everything like that. And the weather was just phenomenal, so we didn't have to worry about. I was worried more about, I think, rain coming down on us or whatever like that. That didn't happen. I was worried about, a lot of heat, sun, just crazy, just coming down on us. That really wasn't a big issue either. We had a lot of overcast, so we was shaded for a good part of the trip and everything.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So okay,
we didn't get lucky.
So you got there that first night. What? You just kind of hang out, get to know everybody.
Yeah. So that first night we get there. I get to meet some of the shop owners there. I'm kind of like a fish out of water because I'm thinking to myself, okay, there's got to be some more consumers here that or somebody else. Nope, everybody's all shop. So
and that's something. Not to interrupt, that is something I do want to point out. The specialness of your trip. I mean, Trey Mac can obviously speak to this more, but correct me if I'm wrong. He's the first consumer to go on a Camp Aladino trip, right?
Technically, yeah. I mean, that's just not what we do. We offer it at the PulpitFest. That's the chance for a consumer to go. And the year prior, when we first offered it, technically, the guy that won it worked for a shop, so it was not really a consumer. Yeah. So Teddy was like the first,
legit consumer.
Yeah. I don't work the industry, so that was the first, and and like I said, so for the most part, it was for me, I think more of a learning experience than anything because I got to hear a lot of different sides of the industry, from the shop owners to the people who just actually work the shop and don't really have much logistics or ownership into it. They just work the shop, and then you're talking to the people at the farm itself. So it was a great experience to kind of see all those perspectives and ends of the industry and everything. Because I mean, like, if I ever decide I want to ever work inside the industry and everything like that, this was a great jumping start as far as getting the experience in, as far as learning where I might can put my little niche into the industry or something like that, or even put my carve myself into some type of work into the industry itself. But just seeing that and hearing them talking shop, it was, like I said, it was an eye-opening experience. Like I said, it was great to hear the positive, even in the midst of a lot of stuff that's going on with them, with everything that's going on economically wise and everything like that. They still, trucking on with their brand, with their shop, got a lot of stuff lined up. Like I said, a lot of the places and everything like that. And like I said, you'll have to forgive me because I can't remember names and faces as well, but I did make sure that I told them, hey, make sure y'all please send me y'all WhatsApp, send me your information. And luckily I got a lot of their shop information and stuff online. So now I can be able to go ahead when I do travel out of the state and everything, go to these different places. My first end is the first visit all these shops that was at the camp. So hopefully this year I can at least get to maybe 3 or 4 of them. There's about 3 or 4 of them that I know I think I can get to this year, and I'm going to try to visit them. Just check out their shop, just to patronize and everything like that, and also just to really kind of get more experience as far as what they see what they see in their eyes and what their environment is like. So so I guess when that first night, we was introducing each other, it was kind of hard for me to really just say, okay, well, not a shop owner or anything like that. And, I won my trip and yada, yada, I was telling them, their circumstances behind, that. And what's funny was that, that week, right prior to the week of leaving on a trip, I didn't tell a lot of people, I know a lot of people don't know about this, but a lot of people don't know that I was involved in not only a car accident that Monday before the trip, but then a turnaround that Friday of that same week was basically when, my job told me that we're going to have to lay off and we're going to have to shut down operations in Memphis. And I was like, okay, all this happening right before I got to go on this trip to Honduras for the first time. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, is this a sign telling me not to go and everything? But I was like, okay, no, forget it. I just dismissed it out of my head. Okay, I can't worry about that right now. I'm healthy. I'm still able to go. I still can move around and stuff like that. Wasn't so hurt, so messed up and everything for the accident that I couldn't go. And then since we've already paid all this money, there was no way I was going to miss this without some crazy reason. So,
I gotta say, man, I've lost a job immediately coming back from a vacation before.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw what was going on with you, and knowing that, you obviously were let go and everything right before your trip. And I'm sitting here now thinking about my experience, your experience, and I'm just thinking like, man, I don't know which would be worse, to get back from a vacation and to like right away lose your gig, or to do it right before. Part of me, I don't know. Because I know for me, I went through a whole lot of like, fuck, if I would have known this was going to happen, I wouldn't have done that trip. But on the flip side, what are you going to do? You get through it, you move on. And I mean, so I commend you for going, because let's be real, there's a lot of us that probably, if we would have been in your position, having been in a car accident and then also losing our gig like right before, there's a lot of people that I think understandably would have been like, I just can't do it. I got to bow out.
That's where I got to give Teddy some props, because like maybe the two of you have been through something like this. I haven't, but I would say like, man, if you're going through some shit right there before you go, man, that should be more reason to go. Because like, go see the wonder of the world. Something totally, obviously, what you were involved in before you left was going to end at some point in time. Here's an adventure of a lifetime. Go and just see what happens.
And I went to Seattle right before I got laid off, and let me tell you,
it was uplifting. Is that what you're saying?
I could have done without Seattle.
Well, we have way more sunlight than Seattle does. And it's like, no, I mean, you're going to meet new people. You're going to see new perspectives all across the country.
Yeah.
And be in a total different place in the world where, like, anytime you're anywhere new, like your brain kind of kicks into extra gears. And
like I said, I think it's commendable that he went.
I'm very happy
because I
was worried you weren't going to go, bro. And I was like,
because I think it would have been totally understandable, and I don't think anybody would have said anything negative about you bowing out. On the flip side, I think it's awesome that you went, took advantage of the opportunity.
And what, I'm really glad I did go, because I mean, it helped me, mentally, as far as kind of like clearing my mind as far as this whole scenario and stuff. And when I got back, my perspective was just totally, like I said, it was a little bit different.
Dude.
And it was a lot more calmer. And it was like to the point.
You took the pity party period, and instead of sitting at home in a pity party, you went to fucking Honduras and learned all about cigars for a week. I mean, like that's that. And then you got back, and it's like, well, it's done. Now I got to do this. It's like, move on.
Yeah.
So I
and I think that's one of the commendable things that you learn about. Man, when you hear about the story of Julio and everything that he went through and everything like that, I mean, like, sometimes just listening to people's testimonies and different life stories and experiences and everything like that, it really grounds you to the point where you're looking at your situation like, yeah, I can, yeah, I'm good at this point. Yeah, so after learning more about his story and learning everything about uh, the farm itself and the people there and everything. I was like, at this point, when I got home, I was like, honestly, there was nothing that was too much that could phase me at that point. I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose my job. Okay, oh well, I'll deal with it how I deal with it and everything like that. And so far at this point, I honestly, it has not been one of those things where I'm not sitting here bitter or mad about anything. I'm actually been pretty chilled, relaxed, and just the only thing I'm really just focusing on right now is just getting my health back with this physical therapy, my arm and stuff like that, and get my back straight too as well. Yeah. So and that's really all you can do. You can just get do the best you can with your health and everything like that, live a healthy life, and just learn to just live. And that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't going to sit here and worry about not having a job or not having this or not having that, because I've been here before. It's not like this is something that's It's not like something that hasn't happened, in my lifetime before, and nothing I haven't come back from, and I can do it again. So, yeah, so it's all good.
All right. So that first day, you guys went out to the fields and you learned all about that. Let's talk about that first day.
Yeah. Okay. So first day, get up early in the morning, breakfast. Gotta love breakfast, man. And one thing I loved about Trey when he described some of the breakfast foods that we was going to have and everything like that. But the craziest thing that I was craving more than anything was the eggs. The farm fresh, just straight from the farm, just eggs. I don't know why the simplest things in the world just had me so enamored, but that's what it was, eggs. So of course I ate my eggs. Of course there was more food, of course, from the Pico to the best coffee that I probably ever had in my life, and some of the best creamer that comes with that coffee as well too. It was some of the best coffee. And after we got through with that, we hit we pretty much load up on the trucks and everything like that, get on the back of pickup trucks, and we ride up to the farm, get up to the gates and everything like that. Come up to a gate, you see the guards there, you see everybody kind of like already standing in line, kind of standing there, keeping up guards and stuff. And one thing I love about that compound and about that whole farm is that even throughout the night and stuff like that, you can hear guards walking around the whole premises and everything like that, because they do not play when it comes down to that farm. So you get there and down to the farm, open the gates up. First thing you do is you go through a little disinfecting. You want to make sure that you're coming in, you're not bringing in any foreign contaminants, to mess up the soil, mess up the seeds or anything like that. Because when it's all said and done, you're going on a farm, you're dealing with product and money when it's all said and done. So you definitely don't want to come in bringing in something that's going to destroy a crop or everything like that, just because you don't want to get disinfected. So you go through the little sprays and stuff, and once you kind of go through that. First building we went to, Trey, help me out on this one here. What was the first building that we went to?
So the first building we went and saw the little babies in the
ceilings. Yeah, the greenhouse ceilings. So we went in there. Of course, it's just your covered greenhouse. You see the rows and rows of just different plants and different seeds and everything like that. You see them sprouting out and everything. And the process is so meticulous to where, they're making sure that when they see these leaves pop up and everything like that, they're going through the process of growing and everything. They want to make sure that they grow a quality plant. So when they're when they're tending to these seedlings and everything like that, they're having that little bit of seed come up, and you see the little bit of flowering that pops up a little bit. So when they look at those, they even go through those seeds meticulously to the point where they're making sure they're getting rid of the bad leaves, as they may want to call it that, or just the leaves that's going to take up more of the energy that it will take for that seed to make that actually grow and let that tobacco leaf grow to its fullest potential. So I mean, just seeing that whole process of them growing rows of those little seedlings and those little sprouts through a conventional lawnmower. We're talking about just a regular push lawnmower.
It's a real lawnmower.
Just a regular lawnmower. And that's what I love about this farm, is that they take some of the most simplest machines, things that you can pretty much see in at a regular farm or whatever like that. Some stuff that you might even see in the backyard of some people's houses and everything like that. And they integrate it into their farming system, and it works perfectly. I mean, like, it makes a beautiful product. So we go from the greenhouse. And once we leave the greenhouse, seeing all the seeds and everything like that, we're going into the, is it the aging room, or is it where the?
You watch the whole process. So we go from the seedlings, then we go to the youngest field, where it's like, all right, this field is the youngest field on the property. These plants have been in the ground for 20 days. And you saw several different fields of several different varieties of plants, which again, I've been going for 7 years, and even now, like if Fusto looks at me and says, "Which tobacco is this?" 8 out of 10 times, I'm probably going to be right. But there's a couple different varieties of tobacco that I'm like, they're pretty close. I'm not sure. But we showed you guys different varieties. We drove around, saw different various.
So back up. So, like, what you're telling me, and this is me and my own personal ignorance here. When I see a picture of, like, a manufacturer standing out in a field, looking at the leaf and everything like that, like inspecting his plants, like meticulously himself, I look at it and I say, that's tobacco. But what you're telling me is, if let's say you look at a Cameroon versus a Corojo, you could identify and say, oh,
Yeah.
that's got a pointy leaf and that's got a more rounded leaf or something like.
Yeah.
Like, so there are differences between the different types, like physical differences between the types that you could look at and say, like, that's this and that's this.
We didn't do that on this trip. Ken will remember this, but Teddy, if you can remember some of the fields that we went to. So let's say Teddy is a Habano. So if we go to a Habano field, you might be able to get 7, 8 primings out of Habano. It's a very tall plant. Teddy is a Habano. Me, on the other hand, I'm more of a broadleaf. Broadleaf is about half the height of a Habano, but twice as wide. So,
10 hands.
Yeah.
Now I get okay. All right. Right.
So,
that was 10, right? When they
10
priming. Wasn't he 10 priming?
He was like 9 primings, and they called me like 5 primings.
That's right.
So,
now.
like,
Again, I do remember
in a broadleaf, you might only get 5 primings, but in a Habano, you might get 7, 8, 9 primings.
Okay.
The plants are very different. Corojo is different than Corojo and Cameroon. Yeah, those are hard for me to dissimilate. But
other ones are a little easier.
Yeah, broadleaf to San Andreas to Connecticut. Like you can tell the difference if you've been out there enough times.
Okay.
Now it's somebody's first time out there. They're just happy to be in the field, and they listen to what we tell them.
They're like me saying, "Oh, look at the tobacco."
Now, and you try to retain some of this stuff, but I'm telling you right now, you're not going to retain a lot of this. I mean, like I remember the height on the differences of the primings and everything like that, but he had to like mention that just for me to remember that much.
You're drinking from the fire hose when you're there.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of little things, and you're being inundated with tons of info that from a consumer side point, like you're never given this information. Like it's like, oh, this is a good cigar. I don't like this cigar. But like when you're on the farm, it's like, bro, there's so many levels to this. There's levels to the harvest of the tobacco, and then there's levels to the aging process, and then there's levels to the rolling process. So it's just level upon level upon level. It's a lot to take in. And that's why I think it's important for somebody like Teddy that's never been there to see the entire process and be like, oh, shit, this is why I pay for what I pay for. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, because when you go in those aging rooms, and like I said, we'll go on that in a minute. But just remember those aging rooms. It's amazing what you have to see those guys go through, getting those things of leaves up in that in those rooms and up in those barn houses and everything like that. And I saw videos of this in the past of them actually doing this where they was climbing up there and putting the leaves up there, but to actually kind of see the whole. I don't think we remember. I think we saw somebody when we went to one of the rooms. I think they did have somebody that was just finishing up on it and everything like that. But I did remember seeing one of the guys like all the way up there in that barn house and everything like that. And I was like, man, they couldn't have paid me enough to do that.
Oh, it's a long way up there, bro. And they just climb like freestyle. All right, crazy. So yeah, that's kind of the whole day. You're seeing the field process and the curing process in the barns.
Okay.
That's kind of what we do on the first day. And that could go on now. I feel bad. Like, Teddy, I know you drank from a fire hose, but this year's harvest season is kind of wacky where we try to plan everything so that we don't really give dates for the trip until like November-ish, because November is kind of when we'll have an idea when the height of the harvest season is going to be. And we want people there at the height of the harvest season. Now, this year, we knew when we planned everything and when the height should have been, but the growing season was so perfect. This year was perfect. So the growing season was actually about 7 days ahead of schedule.
Okay.
So when Teddy and them got there, half of the harvest had already been done this year. So we went through a lot of fields that had already been totally primed, and I would say about half the farm was already, they'd even tilled up some of the fields. So
okay.
But that's also the difficult part, like timing this out. Like technically, like we know when the seedlings are planted in the greenhouses, right? You're looking at roughly 120 days till they're totally harvested.
Yeah.
So all right, we want to get them to the farm, 90 days.
Yeah.
That way they can see the stuff that's already been harvested, stuff that's almost ready to be harvested. You're in that sweet spot. But this year, the season, there wasn't a bunch of rainy periods. Everything just worked perfect, and it was much more efficient this year. So, I mean, it's always awesome if that happens. But in this situation, it was like, I'm sorry, guys, but half of everything's already been harvested. Like,
and you can tell because it wasn't as busy as they say it usually is there. I mean, like the workforce was definitely a lot smaller than compared to, I think, one of the daughters was explaining to me pretty much how big their workforce usually is, and how Trey was just saying, like I said, that they pretty much kind of had a perfect season as far as like I said growth is concerned. But still it was able to kind of get more details as far as the once it's harvested. I was more interested in about what happens after it being harvested anyway. So you got to see a lot of that. You got to see everything being weighed out. You got to see everything being packaged and stuff. And that was like one of the coolest things, like I said, to see too some of the simple machines that they had. We saw one of the big I guess it wasn't a bulldozer, but it was one of the big machineries that they used on the field and everything like that. And was able to actually stand up on top of one of those and everything like that, which was pretty cool too.
You were on a combine.
Yeah, combine, right.
So that combine you were on. So that's what we do after tobacco season. Then you got corn or maize that gets planted, to help replenish the soil. And we have to use combines like that to harvest that crop. So, you got to see a combine. I got pictures of you. I sent them to Nick. I'll send them to you too.
Yeah.
You could see, and that's a tiny combine. That's a small one.
I've ridden in one of those things before.
Cool.
Yeah. It was a big one. It was a very large one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Illinois combines are pretty big.
Yeah, and they suck when they catch fire.
It didn't happen.
The guy that I rode in the combine with, he had two of them catch fire. Very nearly died in the second one. It was the whole thing. I mean, if he wouldn't have gotten out in the right time, it was the whole thing. But yeah, and it's the weirdest thing because it's the dust, from the harvest and everything. It catches. And
it'll just catch fire.
Yeah, no, it's not like it's like the machinery catch fire. The other stuff, and that causes anyway.
When you have dust and static electricity, and
the fire threat on farms is very real.
Yeah.
So anyway, so first day was mostly agricultural based.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So then, when you were done, you went back to the house.
Yeah, we went back to the cabins for a second. Washed up, rested up a little bit, and kind of got ready for the evening festivities, which was basically getting together where we kind of had our little meet and greet, mingling a little bit before dinner and everything. Got to talk with a lot more people. Interesting enough, I spoke with one gentleman from Japan who's a tobacco broker. I didn't even know that type of career existed, but he's a tobacco broker, and he was giving me more information about how that. I mean, he was kind of telling me more about his job and what that entails and what he do and everything like that, as far as bringing in tobacco internationally and everything like that, which I think is like one of the coolest jobs in the world to me.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, like you get to go around basically.
You're just going around trying everybody's tobacco and saying like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to buy a bunch of that,
Yeah, exactly. And then see if we can bring it here to this different country here and this country there. And I'm like, man, I'm sure you get all sorts of travel miles all over the place. It's like, yeah. So it was fun, getting to speak with a lot of the shop owners and people who work in the industry and stuff, and just learn a little bit more about what they do and, how things and how they kind of operate on different levels and everything like that within their territories, countries, and cities and shops and stuff like that.
Love it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what did the next day? Well, okay, wait, before we back up, because I want to know the dinner that night.
Wait. Before the dinner.
Okay.
I learned something about Teddy before the dinner.
See, this is what I want. We're going through the thing, but like, I want you guys to like sprinkle in the fun. So, the
whole group learned something about Teddy before.
What did we learn about Teddy before the dinner?
Teddy, great choice in music.
Oh, I could have probably guessed.
So, after a long day in the field, a lot of people like to stop and take a shower, but we're all in these bunk houses and these little cabins. Like, you hear what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Now, my man Teddy, he brought us a little sound system, and we got to hear what Teddy jammed out to in the shower. Everybody did. And let me tell you what, this motherfucker's got great choice in music, and I commend him. And I was like, dude, it was like some Beethoven and Bach type shit that was being played while this motherfucker was sudsing up. And I'm like, he was the talk of the first night.
Playing Beethoven and Bach while you're showering.
I'm sure it was probably more on the jazz front and everything like that.
It was jazz.
Either way, either way, though. All right.
Well, I mean, you got to have some music. I mean, come on. I mean, like when you're in Honduras and you're chilling out with cigars and stuff like that, you got some music going and some good drinks and everything like that. Which, by the way, I would say I'm very proud of myself that I didn't get as drunk as I thought I was going to get drunk.
It's not that I didn't get drunk. It's that I didn't get as drunk as I thought I was.
I didn't get drunk enough to show my ass, but I did get drunk enough to. I didn't get drunk enough to show my ass, but I did get drunk enough to get noticed quietly, though, silently.
I mean, there might be a video.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a video.
I might have sent it to Nick.
I did get a lot of pictures and stuff from you earlier. I haven't had a chance to look through them yet. So, okay.
Well, Teddy had a good night. And, some people, they drink too much and they cause a scene.
Yeah.
Not my boy Teddy. He didn't cause no scene.
Okay.
He was just like, I need to sit by the pool and maybe fall asleep.
Okay. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're gonna get inebriated, by God, just fall asleep.
Dude, I passed out. I was so sure.
Dude, you also had a long ass day of like traipsing around in fields and getting up early and everything else. So like, I understand why you might.
Which was a lot of fun though, and I mean, like, I really had a lot more energy. Yeah, I had so much energy to really keep on going, but it was like oh God, what's that man's name?
Orlando.
Yes, Orlando is the man. And he makes some very incredibly good drinks.
Nope, Orlando can fuck off.
I was saying
Orlando, that bastard.
Orlando tried to kill me, bro. I haven't told you the full story about Orlando yet, Teddy.
Oh man, I know Orlando was. I've been here. The more I stayed, the more I was hearing more stories about Orlando. Orlando was like, he's the freaker man.
Yeah, Orlando's whole goal in life is to get everybody drunk. And when you're bartenders, that's his goal. I guess dude's like the Michael Jordan of bartenders. I mean, like, he definitely.
Yeah, because it did not take long with the drinks he was making. I mean, like, I don't know what he was putting in there, but
believe me. I'm sure you saw me the last night. All
right. Well, let's get into the next day, and then eventually we'll make it to the last night. So, the next day. So you've learned about the agricultural side of things. What's the next day consist of?
All right. So next day we get back up. Still early morning, but like I said, great morning. I'll go ahead and get on up and get it started. And this time, this was more on the side of getting to meet Julio. This is the main. This was pretty much the main point of of day two, and that was to meet Julio himself, the man, the myth, and the freaking, just to say, the motherfucking legend. That's all I want to say. That man, right? Yeah. So once we went to, first of all, like I said, some of the buildings where they do the actual boxes, the wrappers, and everything like that, making sure. And also, this is also where we were also able to see a lot of the once the tobacco kind of finish up what is its drying processes and everything like that, and then they getting stored. We got to see the actual storage process with that and how they crate them up, wrap them up, and everything like that. And there's this one gentleman. There's two guys that does this wrapping and creating these barrels of tobacco up and everything like that. And it's one gentleman, when he writes down the identification numbers on these barrels and everything like that, you would think it was written by a machine. Like, it is so accurately, like, the penmanship on this man right here is like it's like phenomenal. You will think it was literally written or set by a machine, but no, all this is all done by hand. So it's like one of the craziest things, and I know that's just about as simple as it gets, but it's one of the craziest, most impressive things I've ever seen, because man, penmanship. I think I did get pictures of that too. I know you got videos and pictures. Yeah, I got videos and pictures of it. I just haven't posted it yet, but yeah, the penmanship is crazy on that.
See, that makes sense to me, because I took a architectural drawing class in high school, and this is back when you're actually making blueprints. It's not all like done on a computer and shit, right? Dude, the first half of the semester, all we did was learn how to write, like do our penmanship, because the whole thing is everybody has to be able to read it. So you have to have good penmanship. You have to have perfect penmanship for when you're doing these technical drawings and these architectural drawings and stuff. And it's kind of the same thing here. Every single person there has to be able to read what this gentleman is writing on these labels, I assume. So you need it to be pristine and perfect. So I actually get that. I respect that, because and
the speed of it that they're doing. I mean, like, you can tell they've been doing it for forever, how long and everything like that. I mean, like, they was like
that dude's penmanship in the rest of his life is really, really good too. And he's probably had people like complimenting his penmanship forever since he started doing that job. I can guarantee him.
Right. So once we finish up with there, and kind of getting a little bit more inside of the buildings, where, like I said, there was one building that we went into where we was able to go through, and they was basically kind of rinsing off the ammonia, and going and taking those leaves and rinsing off the ammonia, treating them and everything like that, so they can get ready for that processing and everything like that. And when you go through that room and you smell that ammonia, it's like going through a gas chamber. And it was crazy, because it was I think they was really trying to push me and this other gentleman in as quickly as we can to go in first to see how long we can withstand being in there. And I got to admit, man, it will open up all your sinuses in the world. And man, your throat, the only thing it did with me was like, it had me coughing like at the back of my throat. But if I was to inhale that or do a deep breath, it probably would have had to carry me out of there.
You ever had a cat, Teddy?
A cat?
Yeah.
Never.
Cat urine, very ammonia-ish.
So,
and when your ex-wife doesn't change out the cat pad in the cat box for too long, and that thing gets nice and soaked, let me tell you, it's a fucking biological weapon. So I understand what you're talking about.
So the room you're talking about, Teddy, now, Nick, think about like 1,000 cats on a wheel pissing.
Here's God.
It's like that.
Yeah.
So,
I only dealt with 3 cats pissing in boxes, and oh God, let me tell you.
Now, here's the good thing about our trip, Teddy, because I've been doing this for 7 years. That was the best ammonia room experience I've experienced in 7 years. So a lot of time, it depends on how thick the leaf is, but when you put them in that wheel that's spinning all that shit, depending on how thick the leaf is, it might be an 8-hour process. It might be a 48-hour process. And if you go in there early in any of those processes, the tears just start rolling from your face. It's bad. So what we went into, I was like, all right, this is close to the end of this phase because it was way more tolerable to walk in and walk out. Still, I got great pictures of every person. I always like hang outside the building and I'm like, take pictures of everybody walking out. But y'all got off easy. But it's still like, it's potent, right?
Yeah.
And the thing to note is that Julio's the person that made that process more of a norm in the industry. That one process with that wheel was not a normal thing. It's an extra thing that we do to get more ammonia out of the tobacco. And even to this day, there's several companies that skip that step. I would say it's probably 50-50 at this point. Half the companies do it, half of them don't. But when you're in that room and you can smell the ammonia that's being rolled off these leaves, you're like, boy, thank God I'm only going to smoke cigars from companies that do this. Like, that extra step matters.
It does. And I mean, and it does because I mean, I don't know if you ever had a cigar where you've even felt or had the taste of that ammonia kind of still lingering on a cigar and everything like that. It's like one of the worst experiences to have on a cigar. Just it ruins the whole thing altogether. So you got to appreciate all those meticulous steps that they have to take in order to bring out the quality of the cigar that they bring out. So I can't do nothing but commend them on that end because I mean, like a lot of manufacturers, I have yet to see a lot of their tours, of course, but once I go, see more of their tours and kind of get more comparisons and stuff, I'll be able to speak a little bit better on, who does what and what this and what's that. But from what I can tell, just from people because we had other people that was also on the plane as well that went on other tours with other factories. Yeah. So we was actually able to catch up with a lot of them even after the tour, after we were coming home. And there's one guy, I think he went to, I think he did Rocket Patel. There was a group that did Rocket Patel and everything like that. And we was kind of comparing experiences or kind of comparing what they was doing, what Aladino was doing and everything like that. And it's really, there's a lot of similarities, but then there's a lot of subtle differences that I can tell that, okay, Aladino does take that extra step in order for them to bring out the product that they bring out and everything too. So I can really appreciate that.
Very cool.
Hey, he's back. I guess Trey has some business.
I take a leakage, you know what I mean?
Gotcha.
The call of the So what else happened then?
Those extra steps are important, though, that he was talking about.
No,
right.
I agree.
And that goes from every step of the entire process. The one thing I'll say about the Aroas is like no step is skipped, and most of them are amplified. So even we go back to cutting the leaves when they're you go through the lawnmower process, right? Sometimes there's a process before the lawnmower where they cut the little babies with like these little hand shears, and then later they go through the lawnmower. And it's like, you don't have to do that. But if you want each plant each year to get stronger and stronger, you have to do that, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do the wheel to get the ammonia out. They do that. Like every step is longer and longer and longer, which more manpower, more time. You have to be more patient. And at the end of the day, like if you just want a strong cigar that punches you in the face and kicks your ass, I'll say this 1,000 times, anybody can do that.
Yeah.
But if you want a cigar that's super mellow, that's clean, that you can retrohale, and you want to be able to smoke it all day long, now that takes time. And that's what the Aroas are into. So like when I hear Teddy like talk to other groups that went, I hear that, I'm like, it's good to hear that because I don't get to go on these other trips. I know the painstaking process that we put into it. And it feels good to hear that perspective, man.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
Okay.
So what else did you learn that day? Or was that the bulk of the day is going through that process?
Well, after we went there, the highlight of the day, of course, was going to the office. And and going to the office, being able to meet Julio himself, first of all, that was, like I said, really a big privilege. When we first got to the office, the first thing we wanted to do, I think, did we meet Julio? Wait a minute. No, we saw the movie first. the movie that been that they went ahead and produced and got set to that they should be getting ready to try to put on platforms like
Somewhere.
Amazon,
Yeah.
like Prime Video and everything like that. So they're looking to try to bring that video up, and I can't wait till it's out and about to the masses and everything like that, because it's a phenomenal story about this man's life and everything that he went through, just to bring in that Cuban seed to be able to grow what he's growing today and everything like that. And the fact that he's still, day to day on the day to day operations, he still visits farms. He's still part of the day to day operations at his age and at his age, basically seeing that is like phenomenal. Like it was like really awe inspiring because of the fact that, I mean, like this man had a broken back for crying out loud and everything like that. And I mean, he's still, I mean, like the man is a legend when it's all said and done. I mean, there's nothing, can't say enough about him, honestly.
Trust me, Teddy. I'm looking forward to seeing that movie too, considering I've seen like 2/3 of it and then had to stop because the, Louisiana governor had to speak at the PCA. I couldn't see the ending of it. So like, I have no idea what happens after the plane crash,
Well, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that part out. I'm not going to say anything, speak on that part until everybody get a chance to really get a good look on it and everything, because it really is a good documentary and everything like that on the man himself and stuff. So, when we was talking with him, I was listening to some of the shop owners, ask some of the questions, talking with him and speaking about that. Now, when I got up to him and, introduced myself to him and stuff, the first thing he had to ask me was, I was a wrestler. Because I'm like standing over this guy and I'm like towering over him, I'm trying to crouch down at the same time, trying to, get a little bit lower and stuff like that, because I'm like trying not to tower over this guy. But speaking with him though, he was, like I said, it's one of the coolest cats, and just you can tell he loves what he do, and that every day, with him and everything like that is just one of those days where it's like living in paradise almost. So
you told him you were, right?
I couldn't mess with him. No, I couldn't mess with him. I couldn't tell him. I couldn't tell him. All right. If I had a wrestling mask, maybe I would have went ahead and went with that.
God bless it. Teddy, you missed an opportunity. The answer, it's kind of like Ghostbusters. Somebody asks if you're a god, you say yes. In this case, if somebody asks if you're a pro wrestler, you say yes. And then what you say after the yes is, and I kicked the crap out of Spotlight Scotty Brooks. Just saying. That's all you got to say. Anyway, all right. Please continue.
All right. Yeah, so we took our pictures and we got to see the 51 Buick. Did I get the year right on that?
The 51 Buick, yep.
Yes. Awesome car. I wanted to drive it so bad. I wanted to hey, can I please just let me crank it up one time? Let me just take it around the corner, spin a block or something like that. I want to act so bad.
What did you ask Julio though? Like, let's go back to your conversation, the group conversation with Julio. Like, what are people asking him? Because like I don't know. I don't want to put anybody on the spot and say whatever, but I mean, I kind of feel like, does he get asked the same questions every year, or are there different, more unique questions? Like, how does this work? This is kind of a both you and Trey question here.
Trey, you want to? Well, I mean, as far as what I saw, as far as some of the questions that was asked was let me see here. I'm trying to remember one that may have stood out more than anything.
Well, did you ask him one?
Well, I don't think I asked him anything, to be honest with you. I think for the most part, I was trying to listen to him talk about, he was talking about, I think he was talking about something with one of the leaves or something like that. I just couldn't remember that whole conversation and stuff, because it was more on the technical side as far as some of the questions was being asked. But like I said, these was all shop owners, so a lot of them was asking more on what was bringing in the Cuban seed, what that was like, and what would be the difference between some of the seeds and some of the other stuff that was being grown and everything. So that was sort of more on the questions on that end right there. That was hearing and trying to listen to.
So Justo and Julio have some things in common. You never quite know what they're going to be focused on that day. It's not, you can plan it out all you want to, and then you get there and like, well, this is what Julio's thinking about today.
Okay.
In fact, like even that day when we were meeting Julio, we had a time we were supposed to meet, and thank God we made that new room where you watch the video. Like that was all new. We didn't have that last year. We built an extra room, leather couches and shit, and like it was a really good conference room. We didn't have that before. So we get there that morning when we're supposed to meet with Julio and go through Q&A, and he's gone.
Oh, shit.
And we're like, what do we do? And, of course, Justo's on the radio trying to find him. Well, Julio had decided that, no, I need to be in the field. And it's like, well, bro, we got people from the States that came to see you. You can't get back out of the field. So it tells him like 30 minutes or whatever. So, we're in the conference room and we're doing some things going through all of our products. I get to give my spiel and shit. And then Julio gets back and it's like, okay, everybody, now back into Julio's office. And this year we had a bigger group, and Julio's office isn't very big. He's kept it the same since the 70s. Like the dude is literally the same human being he's always been.
Okay.
So it's as genuine as it gets. So I had to me and a couple of the people that have been through this a few times, we just hung outside and let all the first timers just crowd into that room. And I tell everybody on the bus when we're there, I'm like, hey, whenever you get a chance to talk to Julio, could be your only chance ever. Don't be afraid. Ask anything. And it never fails. Once people get around him, they freeze up. They don't ask questions. And you don't know what Julio's in the mood to talk about that day.
Yeah.
So it all kind of revolves around that. Like last year, the first thing out of his mouth was he wanted to see all the Americans' cutters. And of course, everybody's proud to show their cutter. And he was like, I have never used a cutter.
Yeah.
And then he shows how he cuts and lights a cigar. And that was his thing. Cutters are ridiculous. I don't know why Americans use them. And that was last year. This year, I didn't see any of that. He might go into.
He seemed a lot more laid. He seemed a lot more laid back from what I've been told.
Yeah, he was pretty chill with you guys, which was different because it was a bigger group than we've ever had. So I kind of thought it might be overwhelming, but he was just chill as it gets.
Yeah, because he even joined us out for lunch that same day too.
He did, and that doesn't happen every time.
Yeah, so I got a chance to really actually sit. He actually came to the table where I was sitting at, so I got a chance to kind of listen to him a little bit more, talk with the same gentleman from Japan and everything, and they was talking a lot more about shop, and I was just kind of admiring about the views and telling about the farms, and we were talking about the harvesting and everything like that as well too. And like I said, you really, it's kind of hard to find what questions to ask him because this man knows a lot more than I can even conceive to even ask about. So it's sort of hard to find those questions to ask him. So I was more interested about, his lifestyle as far as what all he, with everything that he endured and stuff like that, as far as the plane crash and how he came from that. And, and try not to go too deep into that because I know that's not something that a lot of people want to relive. But, just the fact that he's so successful, to this day now, from all that and everything like that. Like I said, it was crazy. It was crazy, but at the same time, it was it was truly amazing. Like I said, it's to hear him, and he had his aviator shades on and everything like that. And I got to admit, the guy know how to style out. Like I said, man's style for real. So
now
it was a cool time just
Teddy,
to hang out and just chill.
Teddy, do you remember the question he asked you? Because I do.
No, please. Yeah, I'm sorry. You got to remind me.
He wanted to know what it was like to train under Dick the Bruiser, didn't he?
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda. He asked you if you were a wrestler.
Oh, what? Yeah, I think I mentioned that, Nick. I already had mentioned that.
So he asked you if you were a wrestler.
And Nick told me I should have, like I said, I missed an opportunity. I should have went ahead and
the big point there that I probably should have prefaced you with, Julio loves the whole luchador thing. And if he sees anybody that's over 6 feet tall, he assumes they're a wrestler. And Teddy, let's be real. You were like the biggest person in all of Honduras that week. So you had to have been a wrestler. So Julio was just like, "Are you a wrestler?" And you're like, "Nah." And Julio was like, "You should be a wrestler." Like,
Yeah.
that was so lit. Like
Telling
he
you,
didn't
man.
ask anybody else that type of shit.
You
I
fucking
know.
lied. You could have
Yeah.
been the god of the trip for Julio if you just would have been like, "Yes, sir."
I know. Hey, man, it was my first time, dude. I was like, okay, nervous.
Did you
And-
watch? You watch wrestling, right?
Yes.
I know you do. So, like, come on, you could have faked it.
You could have said you were Mark Henry.
Oh,
Am I
fuck.
believe this?
Yeah, but then you wouldn't have shown up.
Yeah. And then it wasn't Mark Henry at the yeah, and then wasn't Mark Henry at the New England Cigar Expo last
That's
year?
exactly what I'm getting at. Is the fact that when I went up there in 2024 to see, and Mark Henry was anyway. We won't get into that.
Oh, wow! I didn't know he did. Oh, I thought
No,
he
he didn't make it.
He didn't make it.
Yeah, there's a whole long, complicated story about fraud, but that's neither here nor there.
Jeez.
He did. In all fairness, Mark Henry did not commit fraud. He had someone on his team that was committing fraud, and they found out too late, and he was already booked and blah, blah, blah. Basically, there was a guy on his team that was like booking him for places, taking the money, but then just not booking him and just
seems shitty because Mark Henry seems like a really good dude. Like,
yeah, but I don't know if they ever refunded the money. Anyway,
I don't know.
Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Anyway,
Julio was convinced you had to be a luchador.
But see, luchador, are they supposed to admit it though?
No.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So, like you said, no. So maybe you still are.
And like I said, that's why I would need a mask.
That's why we gotta get you a mask, and we gotta at PulpitFest this year. We gotta get you a mask, and we gotta get a picture of you in the mask, all dressed up, flexing and whatnot. And then Trey, you can send it to Julio and be like, "Guess what? Yes."
Well, I mean, I would take it one step further.
Okay.
Do the whole thing, the mask, all that shebang. But I would ask you one thing, Teddy.
Yeah.
Would you volunteer to beat Trent's ass in the ring? Just
we'll talk about that after the show.
Really give him a country old school.
Let's let that be an after show discussion.
Be like Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Mark Henry.
Trent, I'm sorry, bro, but if Teddy could powerbomb you and I would pay for that 1,000%. Sorry, bro.
Oh wow.
Oh shit. All right. So,
jeez.
So that was day 2. So how many days total was your visit?
2 full days. You have like half days on either side.
Okay, so we've now covered 1 half day and 1 full day. So you have another full day and then the half day.
And the big day, like after all that, Teddy, is the big shindig night.
Right.
They make the pupusas, which is my favorite sound on planet Earth. You know, it sounds something like.
Zoom just cut that out, but it was clapping noise.
Yeah, when you hear those ass cheeks clapping, you know.
Oh God.
It's my favorite.
And wasn't that in the night that we had the big shebang? Wasn't that the night that you also got pretty inebriated, Trey?
Orlando killed me, bro.
We'll get to that. What happened?
Teddy doesn't know the story yet. Teddy doesn't.
I don't know the whole story. I don't know the whole story. I just got shades of it.
We'll get to that, but let's get to the work part of day 3 here. So, what happened during day 3?
No, really, day 2's the big day.
The day when you see all the tobacco, like, so the day that you met, the day you met Julio, was that the day you saw like rolling and,
you go through the roll.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You see the box factory, all that jazz gets wrapped up. So it's like the factory day.
Okay.
So you get dirty in the fields one day, you do the factory the next day.
Okay. All right.
And you kind of get to see some of the stuff in the factory.
I'm blanking. I didn't realize. So so it's day 1 where you travel in. day 2 was the field and all the agricultural stuff. Day 3 was the day with Julio and all the factory and the rolling and everything like that.
Yeah, if you want to look at it that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Sorry, I'm tracking this out.
No,
And then that night was the party.
Yeah, you have the big party on that third evening.
Okay.
And it's kind of like you've seen everything, and then we bring in local Honduran talent to show you what a Honduran party is like, and you do traditional dances, and they do storytelling through dance, and Orlando tries to kill you with booze.
All right. So before we get to the Orlando story, let's talk about the rest of the party thing. So you've got dancers there, Teddy, huh? You got dancers there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the dancers was nice. I mean, like I had all the nice senoritas coming out, showing all the leg and the dresses, and you see the dressing fluffing around, and I mean it was really and kind of seeing the colors and kind of seeing everything in the music and stuff like that. I mean, you just feeling that rhythm, and it was beautiful. It was really nice, like I said, seeing all that, and you know. And I think there was, and then when they started pulling everybody from the side, now I was sort of like sitting in kind of position near the pool, but I was sort of like kind of like in the back corner, so they really didn't get to see me too much. But they started pulling everybody else from the front seats and everything like that, bringing them on out there on the dance floor, dancing and everything. And I gotta admit, hey, even there was some white guys I saw up there that I didn't think was going to have enough rhythm, but they actually pulled it off.
Hey,
now, there's this one guy that was on there that couldn't dance to save his life, but I kind of figured he wasn't though. But he still had a lot of fun though. But you can tell though. I mean, like and actually this guy here, he was if he was not my height, he was he may have been a little bit taller than me. So, but he was a lot slimmer and everything like that. So. You know, he pretty what I call a guy if he was playing football or something like that called lanky. You know, just thin and tall and everything like that.
Talking about Kunal.
Yeah, so he looked like a thing of bones just trying to dance and everything like that. Like he was like pop locking at the same time, but it was still a lot of fun though. I didn't dare get up there to dance because I think I had already been drinking already, so I'm sure that I would have been showing more of my ass. And I just chose to choose my battle when it came down to getting drunk and showing my ass, especially in another country for the first time. Now, if I ever invited back to Honduras, to the farm, then I might show my ass just a little bit more. But, you know, like I said, we was trying to keep everything as cordial and as neat and nice as possible. But, of course, you can't do that because when me and Trey are somehow together, even when we're not really together, we still find a way to just make that trip just just stirring that whole pot. So
is this where we start talking about Orlando?
Orlando. Orlando is the man.
Yeah, so I'd been warned about Orlando like the first night we got there because he was new. He took the place of my beloved Celeste. I miss her. Mm-hmm. Love of my life. Sorry, she's gone. But they had Orlando in the place of Celeste, which I didn't really like because I liked her a lot. And Justo even warned me, said, you know, Orlando, his favorite thing to do is to get people drunk in life. That's his whole life's. That's all he wants to do in life. He's a good bartender. Just wants to get people drunk. Which the first couple of nights, sure, we had a good time. Nothing was out of control. That last night, though, 5 o'clock, I show up. Orlando says, mojito. And I'm like, of course, mojito. Give me mojito. Get my mojito, and we get the party started. Now, between 4 and 9 p.m.
Now, wait, real quick. I'm sorry to interrupt. I do want to point out, up until this trip, you had been off of alcohol.
Had not drank since Christmas.
Okay. So you're what, 2 months?
No, it was close to 100 days. No, not 100 days. More like 65 days, something like that.
Okay, so a little over 2 months in.
Yeah. And that was the thing. I was like, I need to like clean myself up and shit. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. I go 65 days or so without booze, which I usually do a 30-day break every year. Like I do pick a month. And I'm like, God, we're going to, help the body out. This year I was like, let's double that. Let's do 2 months.
You're
did
getting
that.
older. Yeah,
Yeah, I did that. My body needs a little bit of a break.
yeah.
So we do that. And first couple of nights, no big deal. Had a few drinks, fine. I was warned about Orlando. The third night, first mojito was at 5 p.m. And I had like one mojito an hour, maybe a little bit more. Maybe it was 5 mojitos over the course of 4 hours.
Okay. So you shouldn't have been that bad.
A moderate pace, a good
it gets better.
a good feeling pace,
Yeah.
but not a terrible pace.
Yeah.
And all I know is at 9:30, I was taking pictures and videos, and everything on my phone looks completely normal until 9:30. And at 9:30, I remember all of a sudden I went from feeling pretty good to being like, I can't move my eyes.
Oh.
And I am in that spot. I went from like there was no middle ground. It was
You went 0 to 60 in no time.
I went from like fun inebriated to I can't move.
Well, you got to remember too. Not only did we do the mojitos, because I think I stopped after like the third shot, but I think we was doing mojitos. And we was chasing down with also tequila shots. Yeah.
Let me tell you some more information, Teddy.
Oh boy.
These glasses I'm wearing here told me a whole different story.
Oh boy.
So these glasses, they translate everything in real time. And the first night I was there, first night we first got there, this guy, Willito, he grabbed my stuff and took it to what we called the frat house, which is where I was staying. And Willito like carried all my stuff there, and he was trying to talk to me. And I told Willito, I'm like, listen, your Spanish is too fast. Let me put on my glasses, which confused the fuck out of the young man.
I was gonna say, he's like, the fuck do glasses have to do with
So,
my Spanish? Yeah.
I put my glasses on and I hit the button, and next thing I know, everything Willito says gets transmitted into my fucking head.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm having a conversation with him, which blows his mind. Like Willito was like, "What the fuck?" But all of a sudden, we become friends. And Willito was the guy, if you remember, he was in the red shirt. He was there every night, but he was always in the shadows. Never did anything. He was just always there in the background. Never did anything. I don't know. Do you remember him, Teddy?
Yeah.
But he wasn't really participating.
Oh yeah. I remember now. Mm-hmm.
But that's my boy that would come talk to me every day. Now, the last day after you guys were gone, so it was the day after the big shindig. I had to stay another day and a half. So I get there, and at noon, I come up, and there's Orlando mojito, and I said, "F you, Orlando. I'm not drinking any mojitos from you." And my boy Willito comes from the shadows, and he tells me to pick up my glasses and come take a walk. Okay. So I go take a walk with Willito, and we're having a conversation through my glasses. And he says, "There's something you need to know." And I'm like,
I feel like we need to cue the Godfather music right now.
Yeah. And I'm like, "What is it, bro? What's up, Willito?" And he goes, "The drinks you had last night were not the same drinks as everybody else." And I was like, "No." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he tells me in Spanish that every mojito that I had 4 shots of 4 different alcohols in it.
You were
that man. So basically, he made you a modified adios motherfucker.
Yeah.
Orlando.
I love it.
Yeah, and Willito is like, "I just thought somebody should tell you because you got different drinks than everybody else did, and I saw what happened." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "I need to go talk to Orlando with these glasses on." And I'm like, "Orlando, fuck you." And he thought it was the funniest thing ever. And I'm like, "No, you're busted. I know what you did last night." He thought it was really funny.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, "Orlando, not funny. 5 drinks turns into 20 drinks. 20 drinks, not fucking funny. No, not funny." So, yeah. And apparently one of the drinks, because I asked Willito, I was like, "What was he putting in my drinks?" And he named like normal shit. And then the 4th drink was like something I never heard of. It started with Y. And I go, what is that? And Willito says, "Honduran gasoline." I was like, oh my God.
Damn.
And I was like, okay, Orlando tried to kill me. That's fine.
I gave you Honduran. So basically, you had Honduran moonshine.
Yeah.
I'm jealous. Now I'm jealous.
Which, like, I'm glad he didn't do that to anybody but me. But you know,
He didn't have to do it for you either.
yeah, would have been great. Now I don't trust Orlando.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Now be
Now,
able to trust your bartender.
in the normal days, Teddy, we didn't get to do this with your group. But you know the Aladino Tatiscan?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a sweet tip cigar that we make.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is actually a liquor company from Julio's best friend. Julio's best friend has a liquor company in Honduras called Tatiscan. It looks something like this.
Oh.
So usually that last night, I go bring out a bottle of Tatiscan from the back, and it's a rite of passage. Everybody has to take a shot of Tatiscan, which is a low proof. It's more of an aperitif. You know, it's like 35% alcohol. It's kind of herbal. You know, it's not the most tasty thing in the world, but it's a rite of passage. That's usually what we do the last night as a group. That didn't happen with Orlando. Like, Orlando was like, this is everybody's last night. Let's go. And
Yeah, and what Orlando did have though was those bottles of tequila that we was drinking out of and everything. And he almost was like getting to the point where I think everybody could have had their own personal bottle.
yeah.
I'm sure I sure as shit damn near had my own personal bottle. I've drunk about a good half of it that night.
Jesus, Teddy.
I'm telling you, man. I honestly held back a lot of I restrained a lot of drunken fuel shenanigans for those days of that trip.
Let's be real. Like, the best thing about the Aroa family and the situation they set up, like, you can have a good time. It's not a party. Like, we're there to learn. You're still going to have a good time at night, and no one's going to get out of control. It's very it's a very controlled environment that's beautiful in a lot of ways. We all get to talk to people from different parts of the country. And you met Maurice. Me and Maurice had to talk about sumo wrestling. I've never had anybody that knew about sumo wrestling. I'm a huge addict of sumo, and I don't have anybody to talk to. I meet Maurice. We have a great time, and he gave me a sumo gift when he left. And it's little things like that that makes the whole.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, and Maduro, man, he was like one of the coolest cats.
I'm lucky, but Maduro doesn't live too far from me down here, and he has been the nicest guy. Introduced me to people. I was so happy we got to bring him to the farm because he is the definition of a gentleman. That is what a gentleman is, and he was the best.
Yeah.
So if you don't know Maduro aficionado, follow him on whatever. Instagram, TikTok, he's on all of it. He's awesome.
Yeah, Nick, you really got to get him on the podcast one of these times for sure to talk more about the trip because I mean, like, he can really give you some really great details about it and stuff because he documented a lot.
Very cool. I want it noted, by the way, that I am pretty much done because at this point, like, I'm going to start singeing my mustache. But
yeah, same here.
But I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was good. Now, okay, so if he's shitting on American cutters, how would Julio have taken the cap off that torpedo there?
You don't have to take the cap off.
Oh.
Julio tends to take a match.
Yeah.
And he does it all in one motion. It's pretty badass. Like, I want to learn how to. Julio takes one match, pops a hole in the cap with his match, and strikes it all in the same motion.
Oh, shit.
It's badass.
So he like punches it with the match.
And then strikes it at the same time, and it's all in one.
All right.
It's the most badass shit ever.
Okay. So we had the party. Orlando fucked you over.
Yeah.
And then the next day is what? Everybody getting up, having breakfast, and heading back to the airport?
Early.
Yeah, pretty much having coffee and getting the hell on out of Dodge.
Okay.
But we got up, but we got to get up early that morning, just kind of avoid all the major traffic issues.
Yeah.
which was and it was crazy because, like I said, going leaving from the farm and going to the airport was a lot quicker than it was going coming from the airport to the farm. So it didn't really take us long at all once we got to the airport. And once we got there, it was crazy because, like I said, I was going through, like I say, everybody, of course, going through customs and everything like that, declaring what we had, what we didn't have, whatever like that. Once I gave him my exit entry pass or whatever it was, whatever it's called, my stuff went through the scanners, and I'm sure enough because I didn't I didn't come out of there with much of anything except cigars, just a few more cigars here and there.
Yeah.
So when I was going through, I pretty much figured I wasn't going to get flagged for anything or nothing like that, so nothing happened. But I had like 3 or 4 other people that was on with me in the group and everything like that, and all of them just all of a sudden just lined up. One got confiscated because of an ashtray. Somebody got, I think, confiscated because of God. I think it was a lighter. I think they had a cyclone lighter or something like that. And I was like, it was some of the silliest things and craziest things. And like I said, I'm still kind of tripping off of one lady who I think what she had in her it was like a vase or some type of ceramic something or whatever like that she actually got there while she was in Honduras and stuff, but they wouldn't let her. They wasn't trying to not allow her to come through with it. Like she couldn't even leave with it because I don't know what the situation was. It was something with with it being the way it is or built the way it was. I don't know what it was, but I was like,
That's
come on,
sad.
really? Yeah. So. And that was what was I think I was probably warned about more than anything for trades that more likely you might get flagged since it's your first time traveling, first time out of the country, or whatever like that. None of that happened. I just like I said went through it in and out just like any other day.
All right. So you had a fairly easy trip.
That makes me happy, especially as someone who has literally never once gotten through things.
Yeah, I think my only hang up was like when I got to Miami. That was when it was like you can tell where just there was lacking. It was like I said, the lines was pretty long at the time.
When we got back, Teddy, they weren't doing they had shut down the global entry.
Yeah.
So all the global entry folks had to get in line with the regular people, and that really clogged things up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's what happened. Luckily, like I said, they had some good lounges in there too. So I just hung out at the lounge for a little while and everything in Miami and stuff, and even got the chance to even hang out at the lounge in Honduras too. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
All right. So okay. So big picture takeaways. Like what's your takeaway of the trip, Teddy? Like what? Because like I saw some of your posts on Facebook, and I'm not gonna lie, it seemed like you had like a religious experience down there, and so I just want to know, like, what are the takeaways of this trip?
Well, first of all, you got to appreciate the country itself. Like I say, going through the country, driving those 4 hours back and forth and everything like that, you got to see a lot of the rural areas and everything of the country. You got to see a little bit of, I guess, what's considered the downtown area. It's kind of funny too because it was amazing how you kind of saw a lot of Chinese spots, a lot of Chinese restaurants coming through Honduras. And I mean, some really, like, I'm talking about red lettering, yellow signs, tiny Chinese places. Yeah, legit. So, but and then you see the kind of like the makeshift houses, some of the places that they was using and either living out of, working out of, or both and everything like that. But you saw a lot of people too at the same time. Having fun, especially around the times where I think in the evening times when we was just coming from the airport, when we was leaving from the airport, when we was just about to get to the camp, I can tell where things were starting to liven up a little bit, where people were starting to kind of get together. You hear a little bit more music, and start hearing the kind of like the smells in the air, the food and everything. So that was the first thing that I was taken back on from the trip itself. But once you get on the farm, you get on the campgrounds or the farm grounds and everything like that, you're amazed at how massive this place is and how huge this operation is and how they do this on a day-to-day basis. And a consumer like myself smoking cigars, you don't think about all the hands that touches that leaf, all the process that to go through with those cigars. And then when you're paying for a cigar and you see a markup of 50 cents or $1 or something like that, And you're like, man, why I got to charge all this and all that? When you get through seeing the process of what they go through, I will never complain about the price of a good cigar again. A price of a good cigar, not a shitty cigar, a good cigar. And one thing I will love, and I'm not trying to sound like an Aladino's ad, but one thing I will say is that for you're going to get more than your money's worth when you smoke an Aladino because of those meticulous processes that you see firsthand and that you get to know that with each cigar, they really take a lot of care with each cigar. I mean, everything from the pressure draw test to the wrapping of it, to the hands and the delicacies that it takes, just like I said, to the manufacturer to construct this one cigar. And then you got to go back into and then it's some of the most impressive things that I like about the fact is that everything is done on the farm. Everything from the boxes that they come in, the labels, getting all the labels wrapped around them and everything like that. And even being on the farm itself, the cabins that we were staying in, I didn't even realize that the furniture that they had in there, that was all built on the farm as well too. So they had everything was literally built by hand on that farm there. And that's what you get. And when you see that or know that, that's when you kind of really appreciate the hard work that is put into each and every one of those cigars. So, and then the fact that, you had some of the best food. I mean, some of the best farm to table food that you can ever have. Trying some of the different Honduran cuisines and everything. It was honestly, like I said, one of those things that kind of like really healthy, like health wise, physically and mentally, really, it really boosted my my health and vitality a lot more. Just being out there, hiking and getting out in that air and fresh air and just enjoying the scenery and everything like that. So I would encourage any shop owner, if they ever get a chance to take any of these type of tours, especially if you can get on the Aladino tour, take the tour. Go see the tour. Go see this. Show yourself. I'm going to hopefully. I'm hoping we're working right now, trying to work with talk with different shops in the area in Memphis here, because there's a lot of shops in Memphis that does not carry Aladino right now, at least not yet. One particular shop that we really need to talk to, because he literally like ran out of like all sorts of cigars. He didn't have anything in his humidor. So I'm trying to talk with him. Hopefully he can. We'll get with Trey and we'll try to talk some more about doing something where we can supply that, because when you get through hearing about when you know about the story of Julio and you hear about and you know about everything that he endured and went through, and the fact that he still, even from day to day, still puts his hands on the operation itself, even though he really doesn't have to, but it's still something he does day to day just to be able to put his own stamp on it and to lean onto that, his conviction on it and everything like that. It's just one of those things that you look into and you're like, man, if he can do this, if he was able to do all this and everything like that, then why is it that I'm sitting here complaining about some of the little things that, those little stuff that us Americans, we complain about because of all those comforts that we have around here and everything like that, versus everything that, he didn't even have and everything like that, was still able to go ahead and achieve through that hard work and that persistence. So my biggest takeaway from this is the appreciation of everybody who works in this industry, everybody from the fields all the way up down to all the way to the shops. I just appreciate any and everybody that works this industry, because it's not an easy industry to work. You definitely have to have some type of passion and love for it. You can tell from the faces of everybody, who worked on the farm, the people who's on the tour and everything like that. You can tell that they really enjoy this industry, and it's not work for them. It's just more of a passion job for them than anything. So that's why that's what, as me as a consumer, took away from it all and everything like that. And I really do appreciate the whole experience.
Go ahead, Trey.
No, I mean, like Teddy, I'm so glad you came with us. I know the family's always like consumers or something they're like very tentative about. And so when you won that raffle, I smiled inside and out, because I'm like, that's my guy. I've known Teddy forever. I can't wait to get Teddy on the farm. Like, I was so happy when you were the one that won that raffle. And then you get down there and you're so genuine and they're genuine. It's a really good mesh. And I'm so happy that I got to share that with you. I'd be happy to share it with anybody, but to share it with somebody that I've gotten to know over the years and just know how like passionate of a human being you are, I was like, Teddy's going to really appreciate this whole thing. And I was really, really, really thrilled to know I got to share that process with you, because this is something that you can tell people this over and over again, and they a couple of them might gravitate towards it, but they really don't get it. Like to get it, you have to be there, and you've been there. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're my brother, man. Like we'll always have that. Like we'll always like know what it's like to be on that farm.
Yeah, yeah. And I can't wait. Like I said, Nick, you gotta go, man. I mean, like it's just I don't know
I was
how and
waiting
when
for that.
and where. Yeah, I don't know how and when and where, but you gotta go.
Yeah.
He's
You just
invited
got
every
to.
year, Teddy. He just always comes up
I'm
with
getting
some
there.
reason he
I'm
can't
getting
go.
there. I'm getting there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know he's been busy and everything like that. You know, especially trying to get that boat together for the next PulpitFest, right?
Oh,
Hell yeah!
Yeah,
uh,
it's boat
now,
time, buddy.
I will
No,
say,
we're going to Cuba.
so
Wait a minute, you sure you want to go to Cuba?
I was saying, now might not be a great time to be going to Cuba.
I'm just saying. I'm trying not to.
Now, you brought up Pulpit Fest, and I want to circle back to that for a moment. So, Teddy, I mean, this all came about because you came to Pulpit Fest, you took part in the experience of it, and part of the experience of it is, Aladino's graciously offered up this trip. As a way to win this trip, you buy cigars, from Ash and Ale. For every $100 that you purchase, you get a raffle ticket towards that trip. And, it's one of those things. You took part in the process. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not like, you had bad odds going into this. I mean, like, for anybody thinking about going to Pulpit Fest,
Go to Pulpit Fest.
This is an opportunity, a very good opportunity to win this, because, I capped tickets around, I think what am I doing that? Maybe 50. I think it's right around 50. And, so then when you take that into account, you got a 1 in 50. That's assuming everybody's buying, cigars to go towards this trip. I mean, I don't want to necessarily ask you how much you spent on Aladino products at Ash and Ale to do this, but like in the grand scheme of it all, you put in some purchasing to do this, and then you win it.
Yeah, and interesting enough, when you say that, you got to keep in mind too that there was purchases made from a lot of people in that group there at Pulpit Fest. You have particularly a couple of them that was who I consider whales,
Yeah,
and they purchased a lot. But then even with and then so comparatively speaking, compared to their purchases, what I purchased, I would say that I was definitely on the lower end of let's just say shy of maybe a couple of hundred at best, maybe. So we'll just say maybe 200 and everything like that. While there was others that was spending a considerably a lot more.
yeah.
So you would think that, okay, well, they're going to probably get a lot more. So they're going to probably get more of the, but we have more than just that one raffle right there going on too.
Well,
so
yeah,
you had that. Yeah. But with that particular raffle and everything like that, as Nick was explaining and stuff, it wasn't, the pool of it was wasn't like a real big pool.
You have good odds, is what I'm
Yeah.
getting at here. I mean, if you take part, you have good odds. Better odds at this than you do like the lotto or any other big drawings and shit. I mean, you've got good odds to have this opportunity, to win this opportunity.
Right. And it's not that hard either. All you got to do is just show up. I mean,
And it's not like you're throwing money and not getting anything for it. You're buying good cigars in the process. So it's, you're buying good cigars that you're going to enjoy. And in the process of buying good cigars that you're going to enjoy, you get the opportunity to win this trip.
And not to mention, when you do buy your ticket and everything like that, doesn't that also count as a credit as well too towards your purchase?
That was for VIP tickets.
Okay, yeah.
They each got a bonus entry into the raffle, but it is what it is. I mean,
you're not going to get better odds than this.
No,
right.
This is and also, as Trey pointed out, not like this trip is available to consumers like on the regular. You know, it's a special deal, and I'm very thankful to the Aroa family for offering that up. Now twice. It's very gracious and generous, and I think it's wonderful. And I think, I know that they're trepidatious about consumers coming out and everything, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I think it, kind of helps create, consumer ambassadors for the brand in that regard. So I don't think that's a bad thing to offer up.
I think it serves as a great connection, as a bridge, to saying, kind of pulling the curtain back and kind of getting that transparency as far as what kind of goes into the cigar that you smoke and everything. So as a consumer, just on that end alone and everything like that, it can be overwhelming once you kind of see the whole operation itself and everything with that whole view. But then we bring it back down to earth and everything like that. That's when it's so humbling to and so appreciative, like I said, to pick up that stick and everything like that and just enjoy that cigar. And now that I kind of got a little bit more, extra free, a little bit more free time now I can go to different lounges and really just sit down and enjoy that cigar like it's intended to, And of course, you're busy, you got life, you got work and stuff that you got to go through. I still got a lot of work and everything that I have to do on the side as well too, and everything projects that I'm working on, but just to be able to sit back and enjoy that cigar at that lounge and everything like that, it's one of those, it's like heaven on earth. And being on that trip, just being in that whole surrounding and being in the, with the graces of the hospitality of the Aurora family, which I got to say, man, really big shout out to the people there that worked, that was, making sure our cabins was cleaned and everything like that, because one of them actually had washed. I had brought some towels. I had a couple of towels for my face. I sweat, so I run hot. So I had a couple of sweat towels with me and everything like that. And they actually took those towels and washed them for me.
That's very nice of them.
The people that work for us down there are the best. They do everything.
They are so wonderful. So it was so awesome. It was great. Just what I saw when I came back in my room and I saw it was, cleaned up and everything like that. But when I saw my towels was, clean, I was like, wow, they didn't have to do all that. But the hospitality from the Aurora family is just, second to none.
And to piggyback on that, Teddy, if you don't agree with me, tell me. But the hospitality from the Aroas is second to none. They're the best, love them to death. But your whole experience, just all of Honduras, from landing till the end. I know a lot of people think Honduras is this really sketchy, dangerous country, but what was I have my perspective, but what was yours?
My take on it all was just, you got to know, it's just with any area of the world and everything like that, you got your instincts and, when you kind of like an area that you might not be familiar with, and whether it's an area that you're familiar with or not, whether it's something, you might not want to be in a situation or in that, but that wasn't even really the case. When I got there to Honduras and, feet finally touched the ground, like I said, just going in the different spots, places we stopped at, we just stopped at a couple of gas stations and everything like that, but everybody's hospitality, no matter where we went and, where we was going and stuff like that, it was just all smiles. And that's what I wanted to make sure I highlight on everything else. I just saw more people working and smiling and working through and everything like that than I did see conflict and issues and all sorts of, the bad, sketchy parts that everybody hear about. Like I said, any parts of the world, you're going to have probably some sketchy touristy places and everything like that. And you just got to use a little common sense when it comes down to that. But with this whole experience going to the farm, being in Honduras, and really just, kind of like just the transport back and forth. I didn't see anywhere along the lines where I felt like I was like in a bad place, or if I felt unsafe or felt like something bad was going to happen. It never felt like that at all. And you got to believe me, when you're on that, in that farm and everything like that, believe me, once you're on that farm, it's pretty hard to get in or out without somebody knowing about it. So if anybody, worried about Honduras or going to the country itself, even if you're not going on a tour, plan it out, know where you're going to go, get to where you're going to go and everything like that. Enjoy and have fun and stuff wherever you're at and everything like that. That's the main thing. And if you don't know about this place or about that place, you research it, look it up. But other than that, though, just avoid, doing stupid shit. Like, don't go out in the middle of the night somewhere that you can't speak Spanish and, think you're going to be all right and everything like that. You're not, just common sense shit. So it's nothing. Yeah. So you're not finding, yeah. So the sketchy part of Honduras, if it is any, I didn't see it.
I've spent several nights in the capital city on my own. I've never had anybody treat me with anything less than a smile. Like,
Exactly.
people are very friendly people. I've never had anything close to an issue.
No.
And the people are beautiful. They're happy.
Yeah.
Well, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, what I'm hearing is that everybody needs to get their asses to PulpitFest this year.
I like that.
October 1st through the 4th. Tickets will be going on sale sometime later this year.
You know what the 4th is?
Your birthday.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, no, I'm very aware.
Oh, that is your birthday, isn't it?
Oh, yes, Trey.
Oh, wow.
Plans are in motion.
I know what goes down the 4th.
So let me ask you this. Do I need to stay an extra day?
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't hurt.
Probably. Okay.
Anybody who is thinking, oh, I'm going to bug out on Sunday, it's Trey's birthday that day.
When was the last time you went streaking?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever done that.
Well,
in fact, I can safely say I've never done that.
Listen, Palm Coast is very accepting.
Oh, we could have a race around the village.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure they would love that.
Yeah. I promise you, in that part of Florida, they wouldn't care one bit.
Yeah, we just have to put our keys in the hat first.
We'll just, here's what we'll do. We'll take a race around Palm Coast to the ocean, and whoever has more sand in their ass crack at the end is the winner of a certain prize.
Of a certain prize.
A certain prize. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good segue right into this. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by Villiger. Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarello manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. I figured some people might be entertained with seeing in their ass.
Well, especially those people don't know about sand fleas.
Wait a minute, sand fleas?
Yeah, you can eat them, though. It's fine.
Wait a minute, how big are they? I ain't never seen a sand flea.
You probably need about 30 of them.
Teddy, he was concerned about scorpions. Now he's concerned about sand fleas.
No, sand fleas are a real deal.
I know, and now he's concerned about it.
But they're like little soft shell crabs.
Vincent's been feeding the blackbirds at the village there.
With those?
With chips.
Oh.
So,
No, Vincent, stop.
So Vincent's, cultivating his army of crows to interact with you. So
Vincent needs to stop that shit.
I'm just saying, I told him he needs to do that more so that they start bringing him coins and things like that.
They'll bring you more than you bargained for.
Vincent can be the little Lord of the Crows.
Vincent, stop while you're ahead. Get away.
Oh my God. That sounds like a whole Rick and Morty episode for real.
I think it sounds great. Because we all know about Trey and the Crows, So,
Vincent, step away from the crows. Don't.
All right. So, what are you guys entertained by lately? What have you been watching? What have you been doing?
Me? Teddy?
Either one of you. Somebody go first.
Okay. Well, I'll just tell you, because I haven't really seen shit. I'm on the road. I'm gonna.
You can't tell me you haven't seen shit, because I know for a fact you went to a live show not too terribly long ago. In a parking lot.
I might have done that a few times.
I think looked like it was at a brewery, maybe.
A live show?
You gotta be more specific.
What did I see? I don't remember.
There was the wrestling show in the parking lot of what looked like a brewery.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah. I want to talk about the wrestling show.
Well, that was live wrestling entertainment.
That was live entertainment right there. Let's go back to wrestling.
Yeah, so I'm halfway through at this point. 77-day road trip. Yes, I'm a sick bastard. And about the 1/3 of the way through, I was in Raleigh, North Carolina.
All right.
Take it back. The night before, I was in Wilmington, North Carolina, on the coast, and I get a phone call from our good buddy Joel Williams. Spotlight, Scotty Brooks. And I'm like, "What's up, Joel?" And he's like, "Hey, I hear you're in North Carolina." And I'm like, "I am. I'm in Wilmington." And he goes, "Hey, me and another guy from the industry, we're wrestling in Raleigh."
Tell me it was Terrence Riley.
That would be the best, Mr.
Fuck, I'd love to see Terrence Riley in a wrestling ring.
It was not Terrence.
Bringing the strength, and everything. Like, oh yeah.
Waylon.
Now, okay, back up for a moment. Terrence, I could see it. It'd be funny. You know who from Aganorsa I could see getting in the wrestling ring and thrown down? Fabian.
Yeah, no, Fabian's he's the real deal.
I think Fabian.
I don't know how long he would last, but I could see him in the ring.
I think Fabian could last a little longer than you think.
He's got some bones density.
I think so.
But no, this was Spotlight Scotty and Waylon. Waylon is from Ladisi.
Okay.
And I've known Waylon for a while when he was with other cigar companies, and now he's with Ladisi. And I apparently, from what I've been told,
Ladisi, that's like pipe tobacco, right?
Yeah, they're like King Kong.
Okay.
From what I've been told, I'm the only person in the industry that has seen. There are other people that have seen them wrestle at the same event,
but not together.
The only one that has seen them wrestle each other.
Look at you.
And I will say this: it was entertaining as shit.
I bet.
Spotlight Scotty, he's turned heel.
Oh,
he used to be babyface and now he's heel. So like he talks shit on little kids all the time.
Typical
he gets on the microphone and there's little kids yelling at him and he just says the worst thing to these little bastards and shit. And then Waylon, who works for Ladisi, he gets in the ring against old Joel. Now Waylon has a gimmick. If I told you it on paper, you'd be like, "This is the dumbest gimmick I've ever heard of."
Dude, it's pro wrestling. Come on.
But it's the best gimmick.
Okay.
He is the ping pong grandmaster.
I love it.
So he comes out in a ping pong outfit, and he's got his little ping pong paddle. And of course, when he gets in the ring, he's hitting balls to all the kids out there. The kids love the ping pong master.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, one of his moves was he got Joel down on all fours. Joel had been knocked silly, and he gets Joel down on all fours, and then he stands up and he starts doing these ping pong moves, like he's foreshadowing. And the whole crowd starts yelling, "Ping, pong, ping, pong!" And then he winds up and he spanks Joel with the ping pong paddle.
Yes.
And he did that not once, but twice. And severely scarred my boy's ass. It was great. Probably gluteus minimus, if I had to guess.
Uh-huh.
And in the end, the ping pong master did defeat the bad, the dirty Joel Williams, Spotlight Scotty Brooks. I've got great pictures that I can share. I think Ladisi should use one or two of the pictures as a promotional item.
You know what I think?
What?
I think this needs to be a PCA event.
Okay. Well, they did tell me one thing. A couple years ago, Waylon used to work for Crux.
Okay.
And at one point in time, I had a store owner corroborate this story. They were at a bar late night in Las Vegas during PCA. And Joel says, "Hey, I want to get my buddy's company, Crux. You really need to bring them in." And they said, "The only way we'll bring Crux in is if you wrestle Waylon right in front of us tonight." So Joe called Waylon and they wrestled. at a bar there in Vegas until the authorities got called.
Oh,
At which point in time, the person felt compelled to bring Crux in, and the rest is history. So the things that these cigar reps are willing to do is crazy. I am not of that persuasion, but several others are.
okay.
I just impersonate the culture. That's all I do.
Well, that's entertaining. See, there you go. Well, what else have you been entertained by?
Honestly, I haven't watched shit except for March Madness.
Okay.
If anybody missed what happened in Yukon versus Duke,
Ooh, that was beautiful.
shit, that was one for the ages. And if you didn't see it happen live, it's worth watching the replay because
That man, that
Duke led that
dude,
whole game. Until they
that
did.
dude had his moment.
And he's a freshman. Hit a 3 from the logo with 0.3 seconds left.
Nice.
And so this year's March Madness hasn't been as exciting as prior years. There's been a couple of like late second magic, but it hasn't been the spectacle it has been in the past. Boy,
I really haven't heard a lot about March Madness this year.
I haven't either.
It feels like it's been like right under the radar and like just kind of not really much anything.
So under the radar. This is where I put my little my hat on. Got my
the tin hat. Yeah.
Well, hat. Because hadn't heard anybody talk about March Madness, hadn't been to B-dubs and not been able to get a seat. No, not this year.
Yeah.
So I wondered, how bad down is March Madness viewership?
Okay.
Well, I think a lot of that probably stems with the gambling side of it too. If I'm gambling on different games and everything like that, I'm rarely see people like sitting down just actually watching and enjoying the game. They're looking more at the parlays and everything like that.
You might be onto something here, Teddy, because I'm thinking no one's talking about March Madness. I don't see anybody watching March Madness. And then I was like, how bad are the ratings down? Wrong. Apparently, it's the best ratings they've ever had.
Interesting.
That's what they say.
Interesting. Yeah, but a lot of it's on streaming services and everything now, too. So it's kind of one of those like...
I don't believe shit that they say.
Yeah.
I'm a conspiracy guy, so...
Speaking of conspiracy, that got weird. All of a sudden, Teddy went from there to there.
That's
shifted
because they heard us talking about conspiracy.
There you go. Illinois is doing all right.
Well, it wouldn't hurt my heart if Illinois made the championship. In fact, it might really make my heart very, very happy.
And now you're back down there. Interesting. Yeah, no, I would say Illinois is doing all right.
I started talking about Israel, and they switched this right back around.
Okay, so March Madness. So, all right, Teddy, what have you been watching lately? What have you been entertained by?
Honestly, it's been more on the anime side of things. I've been watching a lot more anime shows on different things like HBO and Crunchyroll, which is like the anime hub of animes. And one of them I was watching called Gintama, which is like a funny action type anime, which is pretty, and it's really cool because they do a lot of crazy references like Men in Black, and they got this one character who actually is her name is literally My Ass is Itchy, but the way they got it spelled, it looks like Maya itches something else, but it's pronounced My Ass is Itchy.
Okay.
It's just a running joke that goes through the whole thing. Now, I did go to the movies. Finally, got a chance to get out to the movies, and actually went twice. Went Thursday and Friday, and saw the same damn movie.
Oh,
and that was They Will Kill You. If you, dude, I'm telling y'all right now, guys, y'all got to go see that. That's one of those movies that's kind of like flying under the radar a little bit, But once you see it, you're going to be like, why the hell is nobody like really hyping this movie up? This is like, it's a really good movie because, okay, so the storyline goes is where this lady was, she got her sister basically, she's trying to find her sister. They got separated through some circumstances and everything like that. So she stumbles upon getting hired at this hotel, and come to find out this hotel has like some demonic shit going on with it and everything like that. They got the actors in there. They got Patricia Arquette and Heather Graham in there. We got the young lady who was also in Deadpool 2 and Bullet Train. Her name is I literally just like had her name right here. Good God. I think it's called Zazie Beats.
Oh
But
yeah.
Yeah, but she's like the main character in there, and man, she's like funny, but it is so good though. And the violence is definitely going to have a lot of moments of like you're going to say, "What the fuck?" That's basically the tagline of the whole movie. Like once you kind of get past the storyline and everything like that, and they get to the actual violence of it and everything like that, it's just all. If you like Kill Bill, you're gonna love this movie.
I did see, going back to your anime thing for a moment. So I've been watching some stuff on HBO, and every once in a while they throw a commercial before the show starts or something like that, just highlighting something. And they were highlighting a show that I guess is on Adult Swim or something like that. Rooster Fighter.
I think I saw the poster for that.
It's like
I was gonna watch that.
It's like a rooster that fights like giant kaiju, and he's a very intense looking chicken, and like basically, I mean, like, and he must talk at least internally because like he has a very like a little mono, but like, yeah, it's a very intense rooster that like fights giant kaiju, and I'm like, okay, I'm fascinated by the concept of this rooster like fighting, fighting like giant monsters. I don't know. It's very interesting.
I wonder how much of it. I wonder if he get so with him being a fighting cock and everything like that. It's pretty much safe to say that he's pretty much getting up in that ass, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you, Teddy. I'm totally with you.
I guess so. So okay, well,
And
pretty big cock.
he tries to play it safe.
well, speaking of that,
Guess what, motherfucker?
it's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week.
Okay.
There's a whole Joe Exotic, but anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
Play that way.
What?
I don't talk
What?
about family that way.
That's right. I forgot you grew up with Joe Exotic.
Well, I didn't. My mom did.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that little boy down the street.
Yep. 3 cigars.
Well, 3 cigars. Who wants to go first?
Teddy.
I'm throwing you on the spot. What do you smoked lately?
All right. Okay. Had the Alex Bradley Magic Toast. Like that cigar. Yeah, I've had this cigar before and everything like that, so I'm not going to go through it and everything like that. But it was a pretty good cigar. Of course, had the Camp Aladino exclusive, and man, that is just one of those smokes right there. That is just smooth, retro hailing all day. I can honestly, like I said, this one of those cigars you have to sit down and enjoy, regardless, no matter what. And last one right now, honestly, that I was actually thinking about going ahead and having before the night over with would actually be something. It's called the Broadway from Crown Heads. If y'all can see it right here. The Broadway was actually like a Nashville inspired Crown Heads edition to their portfolio, whatever like that. So me and a friend of mine named Jason, I think he works at one of the shops as well too, and everything like that. He kind of hit me up on these and everything like that. And man, these are some of the best. Like I said, I plan on getting a box of these and everything like that because this is one of the best smokes I've probably had in a while and everything like that. So so that's probably what I'm going to end my night off with one of this here.
All right, Trey.
First cigar.
Oh, Cigar Busto. Yeah. I'd like to. Be nice. I look forward.
Give it time.
I look forward to it at some point.
You're gonna be at PCA.
I know. Well, are they?
Fuck you. We're Busto.
Okay. They will be there, but will I get one?
Yes, I promise. I'll get you.
I'm just,
I know. I wanted to give everybody Gorbustos tonight. Didn't work out. But that I smoked that Gorbusto, which this is gory.
Gory. Okay, so I don't know if we've talked about this on the show yet. So let's get into the Gorbusto thing for a second. So since you've been on last, the branding for Gorbusto has come out, and each band has a different primate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a moment.
Don't think about, the primates are badass, and that's the branding.
Yeah,
but really, we try to tell a story where, like, the beautiful thing about going to a cigar lounge anywhere in the country, I don't give a fuck where, is that you're going to meet people from all walks of life that you've never met, like,
for sure.
Maybe you would not meet in your regular day.
We talk about it all the time. Yeah.
So the premise behind the whole Gorbusto line is 3 different characters that are vastly different from each other. And the whole point is, like, they get together and they smoke together and they tell stories, and, like, that's part of the fun. They're very different. So we'll start with Gory here. Now, Gory is the jock. Okay. Gory likes to sports bet like me. Maybe Gory was based on somebody that wears a hoodie like me.
Okay.
Maybe. He likes to do sports betting. He likes to yell at March Madness, kind of like, I don't know what I just talked about. You know?
Yeah.
His antithesis is Orang. Orang, if you can see him.
Okay.
Orang is a hippie. Teddy's got Orang.
Okay.
So Orang is a hippie. He plays the guitar. And plays the guitar. So this dude is more like Jerry Garcia.
Okay.
Totally different than Gory, but they get together and they smoke together and they share stories, and that's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the third partner in this whole thing is Chico. Well, I just grabbed the wrong one. That was all right. There we go, Chico.
Yeah. That's the one. That's the first one I had on the first day of the trip.
He's good. Now that blend is real nice. But Chico is the nerd. He's an accountant. He works all day in the cubicle, and then he gets home and he wants a bourbon, a cigar, and he meets his boys, the hippie and the jock, and 3 people that would not normally hang out together in a cigar lounge. They do. So that's kind of the premise between the whole thing. 3 different people. We use primates as an anthropomorphized spectacle.
For sure.
It's fun marketing. It's what we all experience going into lounges.
Love it.
3 different blends, 3 wrappers. It's totally different than what Aladino does. Sizes that we don't normally do. Aggressive marketing that we don't normally do. And amplified blends that we don't normally do.
Love it.
So we're trying to do the whole point this year. Hey, you thought you knew Aladino? Julio can do something the total opposite of what you think, and this is it. So
I think it's a fun line too. I mean, seeing the full size posters at the office itself and the marketing behind it and everything like that. I mean, it was Trey had asked me a little bit about it, and I gave my opinion on it and everything. And I mean, so far, I think there was even a smaller video I think Trey posted where I think they was driving the actual Buick. One of them was driving that Buick and everything like that. And I thought that was pretty cool too. So getting to see those, so it'll be fun to kind of like learn more about these different personalities, as they say, with these different cigars. And it'll be kind of fun to kind of see the marketing behind the different personalities as well too. Once you kind of roll out a little bit more and everything. So I can't wait.
You kind of got to see it, Teddy, when we kind of unveiled that wall, and it was like, here's the 3 characters. They're vastly different from each other. They're all into different things, but they're all Aladino smokers.
Yeah.
Which one did you gravitate towards, or did you gravitate towards the marketing of any of them?
I mean, like if I had to gravitate towards the first, it would have to be the first one.
Gory. That's the one I do too.
Yeah, that's the kind of one I can kind of gravitate to. Now, all of them. Now, I haven't smoked all of them yet. Like I said, that's the Gory and the that last one,
Chico.
Chico. Yeah, the one. That's the only. Those. I haven't smoked Chico yet. And I haven't smoked that other one. But like I said, those blends, like I said, are phenomenal. Like I said, it's what I've already been trying out on the first ones and everything like that. And then, like I said, like I said, kind of like when you learn more about the marketing itself and those personalities behind those cigars and everything, that's when you kind of like get into the fun part of it, which I think is it's refreshing. It's refreshing to see from a company that's so rooted in tradition and everything like that, but to see them kind of branch out a little bit into the fun side of it, it's nice to see that.
And the cool thing about it is that it's so different from being traditional like we always have. And yet the inspiration of it was from our tradition. Like sometimes Julio talks about this on the farm when they first got to Honduras and like they had jaguars and monkeys everywhere. And Julio loves to talk about the early days in the jungle, sleeping on the ground, and the jaguars and the monkeys. And then eventually when Camp Camacho got cracking, Julio had monkeys on the farm. And there's a few famous stories about some things that happened. But
I know one of those stories.
the whole Iroa family has a whole history of things that happen with various different primates. And so it was funny to kind of be like, hey, we can do this and tell a fun story and bring a new thing to life, but also be traditional because primates are a huge part of this farm, even though they maybe haven't been for the last 20 years. But it's a really fun story. I love if you get around Julio next day, you got to ask him about the monkeys on the farm because boy, does he have some stories.
So if you were to bee cut a Gorbusto, would you call that biting it in the ass?
That's a little what is that? Foreskinning? You're foreskinning this whole thing.
Okay. All right. So your first one was Gory.
Yeah, Gory, followed by.
Oh, so those are your three. Those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. I
Cigars there, buddy.
I didn't. Well, I get it. I know. I mean, it's kind of perfect. I just didn't know that was gonna. That's where you go. Okay.
Gory.
Hey, wouldn't that be funny as hell though that if those three cigar personalities became anime?
Oh, bro.
I'm just saying.
I know somebody with Aladino that's pretty good with AI.
We trust me. We have somebody that's working on videos as we speak, and just to let the cat out of the bag, we are coming up. This will be news to everyone, and
Do we need a drum roll?
There might be something fun down the road at a certain store, but we are approaching the 10th anniversary.
I know
Harambe's death. And in the things I've written up, these three primates, they all talk to their brother up above. The wisdom from Harambe.
Oh my God. I love it.
I might have a party in Cincinnati where Harambe was brutally murdered. Right around the anniversary of his death, and we are calling the party Sticks Out for Harambe.
Oh my God, I love it so much.
Sticks Out.
Sticks Out for Harambe with the Gorbusto.
Yeah, the Gorbustos will be debuted at Party Source. That is on April the 28th. For anybody that's around. April the 28th. Sticks Out for Harambe.
That's a Tuesday.
That is a Tuesday. We will launch the Gorbustos there. And then later on down the line, there might be a fun exclusive just for that Cincinnati store. So there's a lot of fun. And like, I don't know about y'all, but let's be honest. This world's gotten pretty fucked up since Harambe was murdered.
It's true. I mean, when you stop and think about it, the last 10 years, you know, yeah,
little fucky.
Maybe that's when we crossed planes and went to a different reality.
What if we do the Harambe party and that's when we
bring it back?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Man, are we talking about some multiverse type shit now?
Oh, it's dude.
Bro, when do I do a
simulations,
podcast?
multiverse? I mean, come on, like
I don't do a podcast and not talk about this shit.
Because I mean, I'm not the big conspiracy guy in the room or anything like that. But I mean, when you think about simulations and certain things here and there, I kind of wonder.
How can you not be a big conspiracy guy after the release of the Epstein files and everything that's in that? At this point,
there's been a lot of glitching.
Oh, there's a lot of shit in those files. Anyway, all right. So my three. My first one that I want to shout out is one that, truthfully, I don't smoke this. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to get into the
Just do it, for fuck's sake.
It's the Umbagog Broads back from Dunbarton Tobacco and Trust.
What's wrong with that?
I don't really talk. Steve, I'm not the biggest Steve Saka fan.
Who gives a fuck? Do you like the tobacco?
We're gonna have to.
Do you like the tobacco?
It's a very good cigar. And so yes, for what
and he makes a solid line. So I mean, like I appreciate him. I mean, a lot of the stuff.
I get it. So
tobacco is good tobacco.
So we got that. And I gotta hurry because my iPad just gave me the 10% battery warning. So this conversation is getting cut short. So we got that. The second one that I smoked, I want to thank the fine folks at Villiger for sending over a La Capitana gift pack. And I smoked one of those and I love it because I was out. And so now I have some of those for my coffee again. So
that look nice too.
That's a very good cigar.
Yeah, that's nice.
Coffee. And
Pearl Fuente Pussy Juice, the third one.
No, I have no. The last one actually
for the culture.
Corona. It was a Corona size, and it's a Wise Man Maduro from Foundation. I had that over there at the Blend and Barrel, and it was great
Shia's place.
Yep. So,
man,
it was a very good smoke. So, anyway,
for the culture.
So there's that. But anyway, well, guys, I'm worried about the battery, so I'm going to wrap this up with you guys before this all craps out. So, I thank you both for taking time out of your evening to come on and discuss the farm trip. It sounds like it was a wonderful experience, Teddy. I'm so glad you were able to go. And once again, I want to encourage everybody to come to PulpitFest and take part because you could be like Teddy and go to the Aladino Farm.
It happened.
There you go.
Yeah, and I mean, this is my first time out of the country, so what better way to celebrate going out of the country for the first time than a tobacco farm tour?
There you go.
I'm so
smoking good cigars, plenty of tequila, and Orlando. To Orlando.
Oh, there you go.
Orlando. I'm so glad you came, though, Teddy, for real. Like, if I could share it with somebody, I'm glad it was you.
And it was a privilege and an honor, man. Like I said, I was just humbled, like I said, the whole way around. So thank you and PulpitFest. Thank you, everyone, for, like I said, just for the opportunity, like I said, to hang out and experience it. So I'm very grateful for that. And like I said, I can't thank y'all enough for it, honestly.
Fantastic. Well, guys,
maybe Nick will come someday. He'll come someday.
You know, I'm working on it. I'm hearing about all this hiking and everything like that. I mean, it's like this. You didn't get to
dude.
This
if I can do it, look, if I can do it, anybody can.
I know, but I didn't get to this overnight. I got to get rid of some of this. Then I'll feel fine going hiking.
You'll get rid of some of it on the hike. Trust me.
I'm sure I will. And also, let's be fair. We're close to the equator, and I mean, it's a little more gray, and it's a lot more gray, and it's a little more brown than it used to be. But this did start ginger, so it's like I'm just saying. The sun and I were a weird mix, so I still have to find some SPF that's going to be strong enough for the equator. So
dude, you ain't got to worry about all that. Hey, you know what? I didn't even bring sunscreen. You know that?
Teddy, I told you to bring sunscreen.
I know that, but I really didn't need it. I mean, like I was okay for the most part. Didn't have any type of. I mean, like we had so much overcast and everything like that. We had bouts of sun, of course, but
you get some of the worst burns on overcast days because you get, you don't.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, you may not, but I mean, trust me, I do. So. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, like I said, believe it or not, didn't have not one skin issue at all. Just sweat. Just had to drink a lot of water and a lot of tequila.
Oh Lord. All right. Well, gentlemen, seriously, thank you so much for taking time out. I really hate to cut this short. I mean, granted, we are 2 hours and 40 minutes in. So, realistically,
Damn.
what is that?
I just showed you my dong.
Oh, my God. You're dong.
The dong.
My dong.
Showed the dong. So, there you go. For all of you on the YouTube and the Rumble, if you want to see Trey Mac
You have to
dong.
see my dong real quick.
Got to see his dong. So, anyway, gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out. I'm so glad you guys had a wonderful trip.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I really want to thank Teddy and Trey Mac for taking time out of their night to sit and chat with me about their trip. I'm sorry that we had to cut the conversation short. The Zoom was eating up the battery on the old iPad, and I didn't want to run out, midway through and screw up the recording and everything like that. So had to kind of speed through that. And what that means is they were not able to take part in the lemonade experience, or whatever the hell I'm calling this. I don't even know. This is the third time now we're reviewing lemonade on the pulpit here, because just to review and recap, I had a really awesome lemonade at Two Guys Cigars up in New Hampshire. The couple of trips that I was up there, I had thoroughly enjoyed it, and I want to find one that's comparable. And so I am going through and I am just testing all kinds of different lemonades to see if I can find one that I like that is comparable to it. So far, I've tried two other ones. I've had a Milo's that I rated a 8 out of 10. And the Prairie Farms, which I'm coming to find out is actually a local thing. I didn't realize that. I thought it was a bigger brand than that, but apparently I guess it's more localized than I thought. So, I guess whatever. And that got a 9 out of 10 because it was much sweeter. Today, though, we're going to be trying a lemonade that I think is much more readily available for everybody. We will be trying the all-natural Simply Lemonade. Simply Lemonade. This lemonade is not from concentrate, and it features 10% lemon juice, which, we've had one that was 10%. I believe the Milo's was 10%. The Prairie Farms was 15%, but this one is back to 10%. Ingredients would be filtered water, lemon juice, cane sugar, and natural flavors. So we got that going for us. Very few ingredients listed, which is nice. I don't want a whole list of ingredients on my lemonade. So anyway, we're going to crack this open, and we are going to try the Simply Lemonade to see... Oh, there's a safety seal. To see what we think of the Simply Lemonade. So let's give this a sip. Bottoms up. Ooh. I like it. It's got the right amount of sweetness to it. A little bit of tart, a little bit on the back, but a good amount of sweetness to it. Goes down clean. Like, I'm not getting like any afterburn in the mouth from it. Sometimes you get a little bit of that acidic afterburn from some lemonade. But it goes down very clean, very smooth. I like it. I'm going to take another sip. It's good. Now, this little bottle is 11.5 ounces and 2 sips, and I'm slamming it down. So it's definitely a small bottle. So I don't remember what I paid for this, but I am thinking that given the fact that I've gotten 2 sips out of this, I could probably finish it in a third. The price point on this maybe isn't ideal, but we're not judging on price point. We're judging on whether or not we like it. So what am I going to give the Simply Lemonade? I like it more than the Milo's. I don't think I like it as much as the Prairie Farms. 8.5. We're going to split the difference. Simply Lemonade is going to come in at an 8.5. So that would be my lemonade review for this episode. Stay tuned every Tuesday when I try a different lemonade. And trust me, folks, I have a lot of lemonades in the fridge. I've been, whenever I go to the grocery store, I look to see what I can find. And I've been on the hunt for different lemonades. And this bit is going to be extended out for quite a few weeks at this point, based upon the amount of lemonade that I have in the fridge. All right. Well, it is time for the socials. I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I am on Facebook with the Pulpit Parishioners group. You can get in on the fun over there by finding that. It's a private group. Request access. Get in. Have fun. I have accounts on Twitter/X. You can watch this on Rumble and YouTube. And otherwise, I need your calls for Ask the Boys. You can call the hotline at area code 863-874-0000. That's 863-874-0000. Or Tofu Pie with no E, Tofu Pie 0000. If you are not subscribed to the Cigar Chronicle, I did put out the March edition. You can head on over to cigarpulpit.com. A little pop-up box comes up there. You can add your name to that list. And every month I send out a newsletter full of all kinds of fun information. The March one did go out. April, I'm still up in the air. Is it going to be one? Is it going to be two? And the only reason it would be two is because of PCA stuff. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I don't blow up your inbox, is my point. You're not going to be getting an email like every day from me. You're getting like one email, and that's good enough. Anyway, and then I do on Wednesdays my drive time reviews. You can check those out on YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok. And all that is I get in the car and I drive and I smoke a cigar and I review the cigar as I drive. So it's the drive time review. Every Wednesday goes live at 7 a.m. Central Time on YouTube, Rumble, and TikTok. And they're short. I try to keep them right around, 10 to, I guess they average right around 10 to 12 minutes these days. But yeah, anyway, so check those out. We got 4 of them out right now. And then another one will be coming out tomorrow. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for taking time out to listen to this. I know this was a little longer episode, but we had a fun time chatting. And, before I let you go, just a reminder, this weekend is the Zoom Herf. So for those of you who are interested in taking part in a parishioner's Zoom cigar herf, we are having them on Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. All 3 nights I'm doing it because I'm a glutton for punishment. Basically, you guys decide. I put out a poll in the parishioners group on Facebook asking when you guys were free or what night you preferred. It seemed like there was a split between Thursday nights and Saturday nights. I felt bad that it was almost 50-50, and I'm like, well, I don't want to leave people out, so I figured I would do both. And then at that point, it was like, well, there were a few people who voted for Friday, so screw it, I'll go ahead and throw Friday in there too. Why not? What have I got going on? And so Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night, I will be hosting a Zoom herf. Starts at 6 p.m. Central Time. I have posted the Zoom information in the parishioners group on Facebook. If you are not in the parishioners group on Facebook and you wish to get the Zoom information is the same for all 3 nights because I have my own what's the deal here? I have my own meeting ID, and the passcode is the same for all 3 nights. So theoretically, you only need the information once. But if you're not in the Facebook group and you want to take part in the Zoom herfs, just shoot me an email, nick@cigarpulpit.com. I will forward you the Zoom information so that you have it, and everybody can come in. We'll have fun. Everybody can smoke what they want to smoke. We'll go around. We'll talk about what we're smoking, whatever. And it's just going to be super laid back and casual. I'm not recording it. It's just a super laid back, casual way for everybody to just kind of hang out, interact. And it's kind of a throwback to the Zoom herfs that we did during COVID. Because every once in a while I get a little nostalgic for that, just sitting around in the garage and smoking and talking to people on Zoom. So anyway, that'll be this Friday or this Thursday, the 2nd, Friday the 3rd, and Saturday the 4th. And I know it's Easter weekend, so I know people have stuff going on. So that's another good reason I guess I'm doing all 3 nights, because if you can't make Saturday, well, maybe you can make Thursday or Friday. So whatever. Anyway. All right, guys, that is all she wrote. I appreciate you taking time out. This has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. Everybody stay safe and stay smoky. lemonade.